of Lumberjack football on KOFE 1240 St. Mary. Join me as he brings you the play-by-play of tonight's Lumberjack football game. We want to take a moment to thank all of our Lumberjack sports sponsors and hope you'll do the same. Without them, these broadcasts wouldn't be possible. Now we'll send it out to the field where Tim Parrish is waiting with the pregame show. And as always, go Lumberjack! Hey, welcome Lumberjack fans. Tim Parrish here, Lumberjack Hill, the home game for your St. Mary's Lumberjack set to do battle with the 4A Bonners Ferry Badgers. And this is an important game for both squads. It's not a league game for either one of them, but this game was a lot about Lumberjack and potentially the Badgers as well. Kind of a big game for both teams. The league matchup. And, man, it might be a little bit warm today once again. Hopefully it'll start to cool off. It's 81 degrees. And it is smoky out. There's a lot of smoke in the air, but we are below that air quality. It is nice. We are good in that aspect, and it is great. So, warm one again here tonight. Lumberjacks have a couple of home games over the next couple of weeks. They get the Badgers here tonight, and then league opponent Kellogg Wildcats coming into town next Friday night. So, another big game next week, and that one is important in a bunch of aspects as far as league and just letting people know who the Lumberjacks are this year. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back to the Potlatch number 1 kickoff, and we'll start off with our interview with head coach Hayden Humphrey.
At P1FCU, we believe saving should work as hard as you do because every dollar you set aside is a step toward freedom. We're not just your credit union, we're your future's biggest fan. Explore better banking with P1FCU. Learn more at p1fcu.org. Insured by NCUA.
Kenny and the crew at 10th Street Superstop invite you into the biggest something for everyone. Whether you're headed to a Lumberjack game or out into the woods, 10th Street Superstop is the place to stop for anything you may need. 10th Street Superstop on North 10th Street in
when our tax pros get to do what they love the most, help people. By getting to know you, they can make sure your return gets done right. It's not just about numbers, boxes, and forms. It's about personal care, so you get every credit and deduction you deserve. And with an average of 10 years experience, our tax pros get your taxes done right. Just one of the many ways Block has your back.
Janelle Martin Holmes, your Farm Bureau insurance agent in St. Mary's, is a proud Lumberjack supporter because so many people in St. Mary's choose Farm Bureau insurance. They have a complete line of thoughts on that game.
It was good. I'm really happy to see how we went. The Lumberjack boys had a good fun play on the turf. New experience there. Got a lot of young guys to play. That was a goal of ours. We wanted to handle business in the first half and then get our young guys in there to get some rest and play the experience. Yeah, overall it was a really good trip. We cleaned up a lot of the things. More, we did better on third down conversion. Really happy with how the game went offensively. Defensively, our tackling was much, much better. Good to see, especially coming into this week. That's going to be a huge key. Yeah, overall, it was a good time. It was a good trip. We had a lot of fun.
And from what I understand, you broke, or not you necessarily, but had a couple school records broke. Aiden Year, I believe, broke one for the longest rush in a game.
Yep.
And I think he beat a relative.
Yeah,
what was it, Trey?
Excited about that one.
And I think Brock had a single game receptions as well. So that's pretty cool.
It was really cool. We don't know the tried and true record holding.
Way back, yeah.
Yeah, this is just kind of more modern, as far back as we can go. But yeah, Trey broke, I believe it's Eli Gibson, longest touchdowns in scrimmage. And then Brock beat a bunch of people who were tied with 7 or 8 receptions.
Yeah.
I can't remember which one it was. He beat quite a few people who were tied for that. So that was a good one. It was exciting to see. They were pretty happy for it, but I'm more happy about their attitude and knowing that on to the next week.
Yeah.
Dwelling on it. So.
Well, I thought somebody said that you were one of the ones in that single game reception one, but when I looked at it, well, your name wasn't in there. I think I forget who it was, and I think one of them might have been.
I think it was Tyler Lohman, Jake Steeler,
and I think Logan.
I think it was Logan Feesline.
Yeah, Feesline. I was drawing a blank on his last name.
Yeah.
So, who stood out to you on defense and offense?
Defensively, Amato Stewart had a really good game, reading things very well, and made a couple tackles for losses, just flying around, making big time special teams tackles as well. Offensively, looking at Amato again, he had some great blocks that set up that one big run for Aiden, the second big run, that 63-yarder. Wouldn't happen without him blocking like he did. It is awesome. He took care of one guy and then moved downfield and took care of another guy. But offensively, our line played very well. I don't think we had really hardly any negative plays from scrimmage. So hats off to them again for having another good week. Offensively, kind of a tough one because as a whole unit, they played very well.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a few guys that we would like to see get involved a little more. We weren't able to get Isaiah Gustav involved. We weren't able to get Grayson involved this week. Jackson Harold had a little bit quieter game. So there's some different. There's always room for improvement and always some more stuff we can do. But run game, I was very happy with run game. So probably back to the offensive line again. They had a great game. So.
All right. Yeah, Amato, I think he led after I readjusted everything or went back and retallied. He was, I think, leader in the defensive stats this week as far as number of tackles and stuff. Kyle Smith got another sack on the year, so he's starting off strong too. It's actually probably really hard because a lot of the guys are actually playing pretty good right now.
They're playing very well. Yeah, we're very happy with them playing.
All right, well, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back and talk Bonners Ferry after this.
Like most backseat drivers, I'm all about safety. Got potholes.
Got it.
So Les Schwab Tires makes my job easy. With services like brakes, steering, and alignment. Those cheap tire centers just throw on tires. That's it. Now, I'm not telling people
with Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
It's in Park, right?
Archie's IGA is not only a proud supporter of Lumberjack sports, but a proud supporter of the St. Mary's community and shopping locally. When you shop local, you help businesses support other local businesses, as well as helping your local businesses to provide jobs. Did you know that local business taxes help maintain communities and counties by fixing roads and maintaining recreational facilities? Local business owners invest in the community and have a vested interest in the future of our community. So won't you help Archie's IGA by supporting your local businesses and shop locally? Oh yeah, and let's not forget those lumberjacks.
If you want the best, you hire the best. Top Grade Roofing and Construction has over 25 years of experience and is licensed and insured. Top Grade Roofing and Construction can and will build just about anything. Need a deck? They can do it. Need siding? Yep. How about a fence? Of course. I mean, Top Grade Roofing and Construction might even build you a chicken coop if you ask. That's Top Grade Roofing and Construction. Call Vince for a free consultation at 208-269-3111. That's 208-269-3111. Top Grade Roofing and Construction. Hughes Ace Hardware wants to invite you to come in and take a look. Hughes isn't just about hardware. Whether you need dish soap and sponges to clean up after your husband's guys' night, or storage solutions for your wife's shopping addiction, you can find it at Hughes. Come see the difference. Everything you need, from a blow dryer to replace the one your toddler drops in the toilet, to a bathroom scale to help your hubby stay on his fitness goal. Hughes Ace Hardware is the place to get the products you need and the help you want all the time, every time. Hugh and Margie Gannon of St. Mary's are proud to support the Lumberjacks and this Lumberjack Sports broadcast. The Gannons want to wish the Lumberjacks the best of luck this sports season and want you to know that they are proud of you. The Gannons say, "Go Lumberjacks!"
You always hear on the radio, cross the bridge to savings, but it's true. St. Mary's Harvest Foods has what you need when you need it. And if you don't see it, then just ask one of the friendly staff and they will gladly help you find what you need. From meat, super fresh produce, and dairy, St. Mary's Harvest Foods will save you big on the things you need the most. No time to cook tonight? Then check out the hot deli for something quick for dinner. St. Mary's Harvest Foods, where you truly can cross the bridge to savings.
And we're back. We're here with Coach Hayden Humphrey for Lumberjack football. And this week, you've got a pretty tough opponent coming into town. It's the home opener, so it adds even more to the game. But you've got the Bonners Ferry. They're never really a slouch. They did beat Priest River last week, and it looks like they like to run the ball, but they can throw it if they have to. But what do you know about the Badgers? I think this is the first team that you've got actually watched film on this year.
What we see is they're a very downhill physical team. They have a big front line on offense and defense. Offensively for them, they run a power ice system. They like to pound the rock, and they're one of those teams that is tried and true to their philosophy. They don't have gimmicks. They don't have a lot of flashy plays or anything like that. They don't really seem to surprise you with formation. They just line up and dare you to stop it. So I think we have a pretty solid game plan going in of what we need to do. Defensively, Josh has gotten kind of rolling and gotten figured out, making sure that everybody understands their job, and that if we do our job, it helps the entire defense, and then we should roll from there. So tackling is going to be super important. You've got to gain tackle and swarm to the ball. We cannot let broken tackles extend a lot of these big runs. That's one thing that I noticed. They run very well behind their pads, and make sure to make it more than one guy that brings them down. So we've been emphasizing everybody swarming to the ball. Somebody's got somebody stood up, start ripping at the ball to try to create turnovers. Defensively, for Bonners, they run a man coverage. Looks like the majority of the time they run a cover one, so they have a safety playing over the top playing football. And we like the idea of man coverage. We think that there's a lot of things that we can take advantage of there. Again, that's always easier said than done, so we'll see how we translate that onto the field. But big front line on the defensive line, so we're going to have to make sure that we're taking care of our own stuff. They send pressure almost every play, so we got to make sure that we are communicating in the front of the line and picking up blitzers to keep Jack clean and let him get the reads that he needs to make. But yeah, we're excited for the test. So the boys, this is really the first true test that we have of the season, and they're eager, they're hungry, and they want to have a good start at home. So I know the crowd and the community is pretty excited to be back home and get to see them for the first time. So hopefully we put it all together.
Yeah, we went through quite a bit there, but what is your main focus against Bonners Ferry? I mean, what's the main?
I would say main focus and goal number one of the team overall is got to stop the run.
Yeah.
I think if we can stop the run, we can kind of dictate more in this game. If we do not stop the run, I'm not going to say it makes it impossible, but it's going to make it a lot harder, and it's going to make it more interesting. So stopping the run is absolute goal number one. So just getting the boys ready for that and knowing that it's on defense. It's going to be a long night. It's going to be a physical game. So they got to be ready.
So what do you want to see out of them tonight?
Just execution. Just doing your job well. We're going to have broken plays. It's football. It's going to happen. You can practice as much as you want. Broken plays are going to happen. We're going to have a screw up here and there. They'll throw a wrinkle in at us of what they see as our weakness. I mean, that's the beauty of it, is the chess match between coaches. So just making sure that we limit mistakes, stay mentally sharp, and keep our heads in it. Priest River started scrapping back there in the second half. So knowing that we have the weapons on offense that we are never out of the game.
Yeah.
So as long as we can keep the mistakes to a minimum, let's keep it in it. And I told them all, they get up 2 touchdowns. We have an offense that's set up to make big plays. We can chew into a lead very quickly. So keep your heads up, keep rolling, stick with the game plan. So yeah, we'll see how that all translates.
All right. Well, good luck tonight, Coach. Any last words to the fans?
Just go Jack.
All right. It's been our interview with head coach Hayden Humphrey. We'll take another break and come back with more after this. Jack Fuel Trucking knows that there are few things as important as wise use of our natural resources. And by utilizing the chips in the manufacturing of lumber, that is exactly what is accomplished. If you look beyond the wood chip, you see an entire community of schools, churches, and businesses, and most importantly, people. Jack Fuel Trucking believes in the responsible harvesting of our natural resources. After all, if you take a close look, those aren't just chips. They're an entire community. Jack Fuel Trucking.
Sometimes accidents happen. You never thought it would happen to you, but it did. Working in turn for that friendly hand of support, Jack's Pharmacy is your good neighbor pharmacy in St. Mary's, where you'll find personalized care. Whether you need crutches, supports, wheelchairs, or even a hospital bed, Jack's is here for you. We service both Medicare and Medicaid. If you need durable medical equipment, come to Jack's, your good neighbor pharmacy, where you'll receive personalized service and attention.
Mitchell Excavation in Fernwood is a proud supporter of Lumberjack Sports. For all of your road building, site preparation needs, call Mitchell Excavation, 208-245-1160. Whether ditch digging for plumbing and electrical or home site preparation, Mitchell Excavation is the place to call. That's Mitchell Excavation in Fernwood, 208-245-1160. Mitchell Excavation says, go Lumberjack!
Looking for future leaders we can believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Idaho. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It includes learning to listen, accepting responsibility, being a good role model, and it's about respect. The result, it transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. This message presented by the Idaho High School Activities Association and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
Afraid to touch that breaker box? Need some rewiring done? Call the professionals at M&S Electric. With nearly 40 years experience, there's no job too big or too small. From industrial and commercial to residential and service work, M&S Electric isn't afraid. Serving Minnewash, Shoshone, Kootenai, and Latah counties, M&S Electric has you covered. Overhead work? M&S can do that too with their bucket truck. M&S Electric, 408 Main Avenue, St. Mary's. Give them a call, 208-245-3890. No job too big, no job too small. We do them all. M&S Electric. For all of your area high school sports schedules, updates, and recaps, including Lakeside, Kootenai, and of course, St. Mary's High School, pick up your copy of the St. Mary's Gazette Record every Wednesday. Not only will they have game recaps and highlights for area high school sports action, but local news and information. St. Mary's Gazette Record, pick up a copy today. Tim Parrish here at Lumberjack Field. It is the opening home opener for your Lumberjack boys football team on a 81-degree evening. And this is the Potlatch #1 Federal Credit Union Countdown to kickoff. Taking a look at the Central Idaho League. You've got the Kellogg Wildcats sitting on top of the league right now with a 1-0 league record, a 1-0 overall record. They hosted Orfino and beat them 57-6 last week. The Kellogg Wildcats are not playing this week. They already have their bye week. St. Mary's is where Kellogg will be next Friday right here in town in St. Mary's. And the Wildcats are 6th in the Idaho Sports Rankings, 13th in the Max Preps Rankings. The Grangeville Bulldogs off to a 2-0 start. They beat Timberlake 34-20 last week. They are at Priest River tonight, currently 3rd in the Idaho Sports Rankings, 9th in the Max Preps Rankings. The Lumberjacks are 2-0 on the season, beat Salmon last week, 46-22. They host Bonners Ferry tonight, 5th in the Idaho Sports Rankings, 15th in the Max Preps Rankings for 3A. Priest River is 1-1. They lost to Bonners Ferry 26-14 last week. They are hosting Grangeville tonight, 10th in the Idaho Sports Rankings, 18th in the Max Preps. Orfino 0-1 in league, 0-1 overall, lost to Kellogg 57-6. They are playing Salmon tonight. They are 14th in the Idaho Sports Rankings, 21st in the Max Preps Rankings. Speaking of the rankings, polls and power rankings. The Idaho Sports Power Rankings top 5 features North Fremont, Ryrie, Grangeville, West Jefferson, and St. Mary's. The media poll top 5 is Westside, Aberdeen, Ryrie, Grangeville, and Declo. And the Max Preps top 5 is Westside, North Fremont, Declo, Aberdeen, and Firth. That's been a look at your 3A standings and your polls and power rankings. We'll be back with more of the Potlatch #1 Federal Credit Union Countdown to kickoff after this. The name says it all. Taco About It. What is it, you may ask? It's the best taco truck in town. Might even be the only taco truck in town. If you like tacos, and who doesn't, then you need to stop by Taco About It, located at 128 South Highway 3 in St. Mary's, across the street from XXX Feeds. Taco About It has too many tacos to list, so you will just have to try them all. Call in your order 208-582-8533, or just stop by. Taco About It, located across the street from XXX Feeds in St. Mary's. When you need that morning pick-me-up before work or school, there's one place that comes to mind. It's a place that loves our community, the St. Mary's Lumberjacks, and all the local businesses and people in our village. Shift and Grind in St. Mary's is all about the community. Whether it's helping raise money for the Booster Club or for a family in need, the Shift and Grind family are always ready to help. So be sure to stop by Shift and Grind for your caffeinated needs. Located at 132 First Street in St. Mary's, Shift and Grind says, go Lumberjack! If you know which side of a saw cuts wood, and if you can hammer a nail, you can do it yourself. Carpentry, construction, finishing, or framing, around here, you've got it made. You've got 10th Street Lumber. At 10th Street Lumber, we have the answers to your building and repair project questions. Every day, 10th Street Lumber helps homeowners get quality results. For lumber, block, power tools, fixtures, everything you need for a professional job. Don't pick up a nail until you shop 10th Street Lumber. 10th Street Lumber on the corner of 10th and Railroad Avenue in St. Mary's. Wondering how to manage your retirement nest egg? How big should it be when you retire? Contact Jenny Oaks at Gateway Financial Partners to get the answers to these and all your other financial questions. The securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC. With over 30 years of financial planning, give Jenny Oaks a call at Gateway Financial Partners today. The guidance is free. The experience is priceless. Call 245-5255. Fall is coming and, of course, cold weather. Now's the time to stock up on a few things. Triple X Feeds has magnetic wood pellets in stock, and it's never too early to be ready for the cold weather. Triple X Feeds also has alfalfa in stock as well as straw. And if you have some four-legged woodland friends that look a little hungry, Triple X Feeds can keep you loaded up on deer feed and deer blocks. Don't wait until the last minute. Stop by Triple X Feed in St. Mary's today.
It's the kid in grade school who paints their face blue and white before every home game.
It's the accountants and salesmen who give up their Friday evenings to referee.
It's the cashier at the corner convenience store who wears school colors on every game day.
What makes high school sports here in Idaho so special? They do. You do.
We all do.
This message presented by the Idaho High School Activities Association and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
Tim Parrish here at Lumberjack Field as the Lumberjacks get set to host the Bonners Ferry Badgers. It's a clash between 3A and 4A schools. St. Mary's being the 3A, Bonners Ferry being the 4A school. And now we'll take a look at our Lumberjack sports update. Volleyball right now in a little bit of a hiatus at the moment, but they were 0-1 and 0-2 in play. So moving along, we got boys soccer, 0-1 on the season and 0-1 overall. They lost to Orofino last night, 9-0. They will be hosting Bonners Ferry on Saturday at noon. The girls soccer team is 1-0 in league, 1-0 overall. They beat Priest River on Tuesday, 5-0. They are going to be hosting Bonners Ferry on Saturday as well, and they play at 10 a.m. JV boys football, they lost at Bonners Ferry last night in a tough one. I don't think they have a game against Kellogg. I'm kind of hearing that I don't think Kellogg has a JV team, so we'll find out in the next week's schedule. For varsity football, of course, 2-0 on the season. No league games just yet. They play Kellogg next week in their first league matchup. They beat Salmon 46-22, and of course they are hosting Bonners Ferry tonight. And around the county, taking a look at Lakeside volleyball, they are 2-0 in league, 3-0 overall. They beat Gin Prep last night, 3-0. They'll be at Kootenai on the 9th. Lakeside football is 0-2 on the season. Lost at Council 54-0 in Prairie last week. They will be playing Lewis County tonight. And Kootenai, Idaho Sports, where I get most of my updates on schedules and scores and all that stuff, records, was acting funny today, so I didn't get to update my volleyball stuff for Kootenai. They are 0-2, though, as my last check, 0-2 in league and 0-2 overall. So that's been a look at your Lumberjack sports update and around the area in high school sports action. We'll take another break, come back with more of the Potlatch #1 Federal Credit Union countdown to kick off after a word from our sponsors.
St. Joe Oil isn't just a fuel delivery company. They provide a much larger service than most people realize. St. Joe Oil can sell you a brand new Toyo oil stove and install it for you, and also keep your oil tank full. Not only that, St. Joe Oil plays a very critical role in our local industries. From logging to farming, St. Joe Oil keeps the fuel tanks full. From heating oil to off-road diesel and everything in between, call St. Joe Oil 208-245-2123. That's 208-245-2123. St. Joe Oil.
St. Mary's Realty is a St. Mary's icon. Why? Because they are a team. They work for you. And they've been a team for many years. Whether you are buying your first home, looking for a recreational cabin, or selling your current home, St. Mary's Realty puts their team on it for you. So stop in or give them a call today at 245-4502 and let their team be your team. That's St. Mary's Realty at 726 Main Avenue, St. Mary's.
Riverbend Car Wash and Laundromat, located next to Harvest Foods in St. Mary's. Open 24 hours, we have washers and dryers of all sizes to get your laundry done quickly. If you'd like to get your laundry done in less than 5 minutes, take advantage of our drop-off laundry service where we wash, dry, and fold it for you. While you do your laundry, be sure to take advantage of our touchless automatic car wash, which has that great undercarriage spray to get the grime off. Riverbend Car Wash and Laundromat can be found at riverbendbubbles.com or call 208-582-4844.
Whistle Stop Coffee and More has come a long way from the little shop on Railroad Avenue. How far? Not only did they upgrade their Railroad Avenue location, they added a second location. That second location for Whistle Stop Coffee and More is on 313 St. Joe River Road. Both locations offer tasty drinks of coffee, Red Bull, or Lotus Energy, and food options, from acai bowls to cookies and delicious bagel sandwiches. Whistle Stop Coffee and More is the perfect stop for a quick bite and a drink on your way to work or school. Whistle Stop Coffee and More in St. Mary's. Does your furry friend need a bath? Don't want to deal with the hassle and the mess from bathing your furry friend? Make an appointment with Barks and Bubbles Groom Shop today. Barks and Bubbles, located at 402 North 10th Street in St. Mary's, will have your furry friend looking and feeling like $1,000,000 in no time. And guess what? No mess at home, no scratches, and no getting soaked from head to toe. Let Barks and Bubbles Groom Shop handle the work. Barks and Bubbles Groom Shop also offers pet boarding. Call for an appointment today at 208-245-5755. That's 208-245-5755. Barks and Bubbles Groom Shop in St. Mary's. There's a new shop on Main Street in St. Mary's. It's a gift shop. It's a home decor shop. It's a jewelry shop. It's a shop of bare necessities. Bare Necessities Trading Company is located at 822 Main Avenue in St. Mary's and has just about anything you could think of. From rocks and minerals to specialty foods, knives, and handcrafted soaps and lotions, there really is too much to list. So stop by Bare Necessities Trading Company today and pick up a gift, something new for your house, or a cup of coffee. That's Bare Necessities Trading Company, located at 822 Main Avenue in St. Mary's.
Tim Parrish here at Lumberjack Field. Lumberjacks have come back out on the field. They're doing their stretches. The Badgers never have really left the field. They've been out there warming up all evening, and that Bonners Ferry Badgers team has got some big boys on that squad. It's going to be a good test for the Lumberjacks here tonight. This is the Potlatch #1 Federal Credit Union Countdown to kickoff here on KOFE 1240 AM. Taking a look at your Lumberjack stats for this early part of the season. St. Mary's averaging 44 points per game on the early going, so pretty good number there for the Jacks. Also averaging 389 yards per game, 162 yards passing, and 232 yards rushing per game. So St. Mary's has been pretty effective in their first 2 games of the season. They're averaging 9 yards per rush attempt and 9 yards per completion and 8 yards per rush attempt. On the turnover side for offense, St. Mary's has lost 1 fumble and thrown 1 interception. That fumble was last week late in the game against Salmon. St. Mary's had some of their young guys in there, so it was, you can't really, it kind of got an asterisk by it, but it doesn't. Third down conversions, Lumberjacks at 50%, and 50%, and fourth down conversions 40% for the Lumberjack offense. Offensive leaders, you've got Jack Barta, the senior quarterback. He is 32 of 24 on the season, passing 324 total yards with 6 touchdowns and 1 interception. Offensive line doing a pretty good job protecting him. He has not been sacked yet on the year. Brock Barta, wide receiver, senior. He has 15 catches on the season for 138 yards, 3 touchdowns. He has a long of 23 yards. Marcus Speakman, a junior, 2 catches on the year for 112 yards and 2 touchdowns. He has a long of 80. And Aiden Yearout, the senior, he's the running back. He is leading the team in rushing, 16 carries, 242 yards with 4 touchdowns, has a long of 90. Caden Morris, also a senior running back, 18 carries, 134 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a long of 67. On the defensive side of things, the Lumberjacks are allowing 18 points per game, 175 total yards per game, 71 yards passing, and 104 yards rushing. Third down conversions for Lumberjack opponents, 33%. Fourth down conversions, 29%. St. Mary's has had 2 fumble recoveries and 1 interception. Lumberjacks right now +1 in the turnover battle. Lumberjacks have sacked the opposing quarterback 4 times and have put a lot of pressure as well on those quarterbacks with 22 QB hurries on the season. Defensive leaders at the moment, Amato Stewart, a senior with 13 tackles and 3 tackles for loss. Kyle Smith, a senior with 7 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, and 2 sacks. Aiden Yearout, a senior, has 7 tackles, 1 sack, and 3 tackles for loss. Colin DeGravio, a senior, has 7 tackles, 1 tackle for loss. Nathan George, a sophomore, 1 interception and 4 pass defense. 4 passes defense. In other words, he's gotten in there and knocked the ball away or had good enough coverage to make a ball fall incomplete. Marcus Speakman, junior, and Cody Mitchell, freshman junior, both have 1 fumble recovery each. And Cody Mitchell leads the team, and he's a junior in quarterback hurries with 7. That's a look at your Lumberjack statistics. We'll take another quick break. We'll be back with more after a word from our sponsors. This is the Potlatch #1 Federal Credit Union Countdown to Kickoff.
It's not just saving. It's preparing your kids for college, owning your tomorrow, and saying yes to that home, trip, or the next chapter. At P1FCU, we believe saving should work as hard as you do because every dollar you set aside is a step toward freedom. We're not just your credit union, we're your future's biggest fan. Explore better banking with P1FCU. Learn more at p1fcu.org. Insured by NCUA.
Kenny and the crew at 10th Street Superstop invite you into the biggest convenience store in town. 10th Street Superstop is your one-stop shop for gas, propane, snacks, and ice-cold drinks. Stop in for breakfast or lunch. Breakfast burritos and pizza to paninis and fajita burritos. 10th Street Superstop has something for everyone. Whether you're headed to a Lumberjack game or out into the woods, 10th Street Superstop is the place to stop for anything you may need. 10th Street Superstop on North 10th Street in St. Mary's. When you think of PotlatchDeltic, you might think logs or lumber. When I think about PotlatchDeltic, I think of family, community, compassion. You see, PotlatchDeltic is more than some company in St. Mary's. PotlatchDeltic is a community supporter in more ways than one. Whether it's donating to a fundraiser or nonprofit group, or giving a high schooler a summer job that could very well turn into a career, PotlatchDeltic is there for our community. We, for one, want to thank PotlatchDeltic for what they do and hope that you will also. PotlatchDeltic, proud supporters of, well, St. Mary's.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Idaho. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance. This message presented by the IHSAA and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
Tim Parrish back here at Lumberjack Field as the team's warming up. Everybody's getting ready to do battle. It's the Lumberjacks and the Badgers in a, cross-league battle tonight, 3A and 4A. And with that being said, we're going to jump into looking at the opponents, the Bonners Ferry Badgers. They are of the 4A Intermountain League. Currently 1-1 overall on the season. They have not played a league game yet. They actually are only in a 2-team league with them and Bonners Ferry, or with them and Timberlake, I should say. Last year they were 0-2 in league play, 4-5 overall. Their head coach is Danny Swift in his 3rd season. Some key returners for the Badgers. They had like 5 or 6 listed, but these guys kind of seem like some of the bigger ones. Senior Keenan Moss, the running back, he's been pretty stout in the first couple of games for the Badgers. Senior Saleh Abubakari, he's a tight end and a defensive lineman. Big target at that tight end spot for the Badgers. St. Mary's going to have their hands full trying to defend him. And junior Alex Stoley, the quarterback, he is taking the place of last year's quarterback who graduated. That was, Brody Rice. And so he's got some big shoes to fill, but he's done a pretty good job. And the Badgers don't tend to run the ball a lot, though. Some key players lost last year. They don't seem to throw the ball a lot. I think I said don't run the ball a lot. They run the ball more than they throw the ball. Players lost last year. Their quarterback and defensive back Brody Rice graduated. Offensive lineman McKean Loretto and defensive tackle Logan Thorne. Those three graduated. Some incoming players to keep an eye on tonight, and the Lumberjacks need to watch. Senior James Morgan, he's an offensive lineman and defensive lineman, and junior Riston Allred, he is a wide receiver. Taking a look at their early season games, they lost 41-0 to Lakeland Varsity in their first game of the season. They beat Priest River last week 26-14. And the last meeting between St. Mary's and Bonners Ferry went the way of the Badgers, 24-22 last year up in Bonners Ferry. And that was a game that St. Mary's could have won, but there was a few too many mistakes by the Lumberjacks. Looking at some stats here, Stoley, the quarterback, he is 14-33 on the season for 166 yards and 2 touchdowns. Has not thrown an interception yet, but like I said, they don't throw the ball a ton. 14 completions, 33 attempts, so not a lot of passing going on. Moss is the one that Lumberjacks really have to look out for. He's a big physical running back. He has 36 carries for 224 yards on the year. He's averaging about 6 yards per carry and 112 yards per game. He has 2 touchdowns on the year and 1 game with 100-plus rushing yards. On the receiving side of things, nobody truly stands out as a big numbers on the receiving side. But like I said, Abubakari is a big target. He is their second leading receiver, as Hyatt, who is a senior, has 10 receptions for 58 yards, and Abubakari has 2 receptions for 49 yards. Looking at the defensive side of things, their leading tackler is, let's see here, I have some brackets around some guys. I believe it is Hyatt. Let me see if I can get his first name. It's Conrad Hyatt. He's a senior linebacker, and he has a total of 20 tackles on the season with 12 solo, 8 assists, 1 tackle per loss, averaging about 10 tackles a game. And then you've got that running back, Moss. He has 16 total tackles, 9 assists, 7 solo on the season. So those are the 2 leading tacklers for the Badgers. Sacks on that side of thing, I think there's 1 sack on the season, and that 1 sack goes to, let's find that first name. That is Derek Vincent, who's a senior defensive end, getting after the quarterbacks a little bit. Field goal kicking and PATs, it goes to the number 45 of Aaron Tadlock. He's a junior. He is the kicker, and he has a couple of extra points made. I don't know how many attempts. So there's just a quick breakdown of some stats for the Badgers. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with more after this. Well. Are you in need of a reputable, experienced, and knowledgeable well drilling and pump company? Look no further than Interstate Drilling and Pump. Interstate Drilling and Pump drills new wells, deepens existing wells, installs and repairs pumps, and does well testing both for water quality and gallons per minute. Interstate Drilling and Pump has 24-plus years of experience and serves from Moscow to Rathdrum and the Silver Valley. Well, what are you waiting for? Get on their schedule today. That's Interstate Drilling and Pump, 208-245-5101. 208-245-5101, Interstate Drilling and Pump.
Tax time is here again. I know. It's not your favorite. But at H&R Block, tax time is our favorite time of year. It's when our tax pros get to do what they love the most, help people. By getting to know you, they can make sure your return gets done right. It's not just about numbers, boxes, and forms. It's about personal care, so you get every credit and deduction you deserve. And with an average of 10 years experience, our tax pros get your taxes done right. Just one of the many ways Block has your back.
Janelle Martin Holmes, your Farm Bureau insurance agent in St. Mary's, is a proud Lumberjack supporter because they're her hometown team. When it comes to insurance, that's also one reason so many people in St. Mary's choose Farm Bureau insurance. They have a complete line of insurance products, including auto, home, commercial, and life, plus they have great customer service and competitive rates. And they're also a local company with local agents right here in St. Mary's. So let's hear it for our hometown team. Contact Janelle Martin Holmes, your local Farm Bureau insurance agent in St. Mary's at 105 North 8th Street, St. Mary's.
Like most backseat drivers, I'm all about safety. Got potholes.
Got it.
So Les Schwab Tires makes my job easy. With services like brakes, steering, and alignment. Those cheap tire centers just throw on tires. That's it. Now, I'm not telling people how to do their job. Winker. I'm just glad Les Schwab takes safety as seriously as me.
Help keep drivers and backseat drivers safe with Les Schwab Tires. Doing the right thing since 1952.
It's in Park, right?
Archie's IGA is not only a proud supporter of Lumberjack sports, but a proud supporter of the St. Mary's community and shopping locally. When you shop local, you help businesses support other local businesses, as well as helping your local businesses to provide jobs. Did you know that local business taxes help maintain communities and counties by fixing roads and maintaining recreational facilities? Local business owners invest in the community and have a vested interest in the future of our community. So won't you help Archie's IGA by supporting your local businesses and shop locally? Oh yeah, and let's not forget those lumberjacks.
If you want the best, you hire the best. Top Grade Roofing and Construction has over 25 years of experience and is licensed and insured. Top Grade Roofing and Construction can and will build just about anything. Need a deck? They can do it. Need siding? Yep. How about a fence? Of course. I mean, Top Grade Roofing and Construction might even build you a chicken coop if you ask. That's Top Grade Roofing and Construction. Call Vince for a free consultation at 208-269-3111. That's 208-269-3111. Top Grade Roofing and Construction. Tim Parrish back here at Lumberjack Field. This is the Potlatch #1 Federal Credit Union Countdown to kickoff as your Lumberjack set to host the Badgers of Bonners Ferry on this smoky evening here in St. Mary's. Taking a look, Lumberjacks, they're off to a 2-0 start on the season. It's the first time since 2019 that St. Mary's has started 2-0. And, hey, if Lumberjacks can get to 3-0, it would be the first time since 2016 that they have done that. So the Lumberjacks have a goal in front of them. We want to see if they can achieve that goal tonight and remain undefeated on the early part of the season. In all honesty, a lot of people probably realize this. That's not being harsh on St. Mary's, but they haven't really played a tough opponent this season just yet. Lakeland JV was not a bad squad at all, but St. Mary's was able to handle them pretty well. And Salmon is a team that's in a rebuild mode, and they are looking to try to build that program up. So that's what I mean. St. Mary's this is the toughest opponent so far for the year. This game is going to do one of three things for the Lumberjacks. For one, if the Badgers come in here and absolutely just blast St. Mary's and just runs them over, well, the people on Idaho Sports and all of the other media things and the other teams will probably say, well, that's kind of what we thought St. Mary's was this year, and that's just what it is. If St. Mary's comes in here and loses a game, but it's a close battle, a couple-point difference, then that kind of is okay, honestly. Teams will be like, oh, St. Mary's is tougher than we thought they were, and they could cause some problems this year. And if St. Mary's comes in here and, I'm not saying blows Bonners Ferry out of the water, but if St. Mary's comes in here and beats Bonners Ferry or comes out tonight and beats Bonners Ferry, no matter what that final score is, teams in the league and other people around the state will kind of maybe take notice and go, wow, St. Mary's might be a team that we need to pay attention to this year. Now, if St. Mary's did happen to blow them out, that would even emphasize that more. But, St. Mary's just wants to come out here. They want to put on a good showing, and, of course, they want to come away with the win. The biggest positives come from that win. If St. Mary's can get the basically an upset over Bonners Ferry, I don't think like the Idaho Coeur d'Alene Press does some gridiron picks. I think one person picked St. Mary's to win this game in a close battle. I think 28-26 is what they put. The other two guys picked for Bonners Ferry to win, but not in blowouts. So getting a little bit of respect there from those guys, but not enough respect to be picked overall to get this win this evening. And rightfully so. I mean, you've got a new head coach, you've got a new offense, you've got a new defense, you've got new coordinators. it's all new, so nobody really knows what the Lumberjacks are capable of. This game tonight is the one that will prove one way or the other, right? So St. Mary's just needs to come out and put some hard work in this evening. Taking a look at some college and pro action getting underway. The Vandals, they actually played last week. They lost to WSU 13-10 in a close battle. They're hosting St. Thomas tomorrow at 1 p.m. We should have that game on the air. Boise State 0-1 as well, lost 34-7 to South Florida. They're hosting Eastern Washington at 6 p.m. tonight. The Seahawks get their season under the way on Sunday. They are hosting the 49ers at 1 p.m. And that is it for that. They're going to do the national anthem. We'll take a break as that happens. Hughes Ace Hardware wants to invite you to come in and take a look. Hughes isn't just about hardware. Whether you need dish soap and sponges to clean up after your husband's guys' night, or storage solutions for your wife's shopping addiction, you can find it at Hughes. Come see the difference. Everything you need, from a blow dryer to replace the one your toddler drops in the toilet, to a bathroom scale to help your hubby stay on his fitness goals. Hughes Ace Hardware is the place to get the products you need and the help you want all the time, every time. Hugh and Margie Gannon of St. Mary's are proud to support the Lumberjacks and this Lumberjack Sports broadcast. The Gannons want to wish the Lumberjacks the best of luck this sports season and want you to know that they are proud of you. The Gannons say, "Go Lumberjacks!"
You always hear on the radio, cross the bridge to savings. But it's true. St. Mary's Harvest Foods has what you need when you need it. And if you don't see it, then just ask one of the friendly staff, and they will gladly help you find what you need. From meat, super fresh produce, and dairy, St. Mary's Harvest Foods will save you big on the things you need the most. No time to cook tonight? Then check out the hot deli for something quick for dinner. St. Mary's Harvest Foods, where you truly can cross the bridge to savings.
And we're back after the national anthem. We're back after the national anthem, and they're going to do their starting lineups. We got a special introduction for our starters for St. Mary's. But starters for the Vandals, or for the Badgers. Number 1, it'll be Cooper Higgins. Number 4, Riston Allred. Number 8, Keenan Moss. Number 9, Alex Stoley. Number 10, Sule Abubakari. Number 12, Derek Vincent. Number 18, Giovanni Ferroni. Number 56, Ty Aiken. Not sure if this is the defense or the offense. Number 57, Taylor Dodd. And number 58, Jake Stoltz. Like I said, we'll get the Lumberjack starters here in a little bit.
Number 2, a senior.
Jack Fuel Trucking knows that there are few things as important as wise use of our natural resources. And by utilizing the chips in the manufacturing of lumber, that is exactly what is accomplished. If you look beyond the wood chip, you see an entire community of schools, churches, and businesses, and most importantly, people. Jack Fuel Trucking believes in the responsible harvesting of our natural resources. After all, if you take a close look, those aren't just chips, they're an entire community. Jack Fuel Trucking.
Sometimes accidents happen. You never thought it would happen to you, but it did. Where can you turn for that friendly hand of support? Jack's Pharmacy is your good neighbor pharmacy in St. Mary's, where you'll find personalized care. Whether you need crutches, supports, wheelchairs, or even a hospital bed, Jack's is here for you. We service both Medicare and Medicaid. If you need durable medical equipment, come to Jack's, your good neighbor pharmacy, where you'll receive personalized service and attention.
Mitchell Excavation in Fernwood is a proud supporter of Lumberjack Sports. For all of your road building, site preparation needs, call Mitchell Excavation, 208-245-1160. Whether ditch digging for plumbing and electrical or home site preparation, Mitchell Excavation is the place to call. That's Mitchell Excavation in Fernwood, 208-245-1160. Mitchell Excavation says, go Lumberjack.
And we are back, and like I said, we've got a little bit of a different way for our starting lineup this year for the Lumberjacks. So right now we'll get you the captains. We'll do the number 13 of Jack Barta, the number 77 of Kyle Smith, the 58 of Russell Brousseau, the number 7 of Brock Barta, the number 11 of Colin DeGravio. And we've got an honorary captain maybe from the middle school football program out there as well with them. Then we've got the captains for the Badgers. You've got the number 9 of Alex Stoley, the number 58 of Jake Solt, the number 56 of Kai Aitken, and the number 12 of Derek Vincent out there at the midfield stripe. The Badgers in their white uniforms with some red, blue stripes and blue highlights and accents. The Lumberjacks in their home green and gold with black pants, gold helmets. The Badgers have blue helmets. And the officials going over some quick ground rules, looking at the coin, giving them the look of that, and the toss is up. And it looks like, if Bonners Ferry won this toss, I don't think St. Mary's has won a toss yet this year, so let's see. So it looks like, I believe the Badgers won the toss. They will go from right to left on your dial. They are going to defer. So St. Mary's will go on offense first. And with that, let's get you the starting lineup for the Lumberjacks. Introducing your Lumberjack offensive starters.
Jack Barta, senior quarterback, number 13. Caden Morris, senior running back, number 31. Brock Barta, senior wide receiver, number 7. Isaiah Gustav, senior wide receiver, number 5. Grayson DeLong, senior wide receiver, number 2. Jackson Harold, wide receiver, number 6. Kyle Smith, left tackle, number 77, senior. Russell Brousseau, number 58, senior. Michael Kohler, sophomore, number 70, center. Jason Pryor, number 59, left guard, senior. William Durham, senior, number 56, right guard.
That was the starting lineup for your St. Mary's Lumberjacks. Oh, that's wrong. I got that wrong. St. Mary's is receiving the kickoff. Back deep is going to be Caden Morris, and I believe it's Brock Barta. In the middle deep is Chris Brousseau. Kicking off for the Badgers, the number 45, and let's get his number here off of our list. It is Aaron Tadlock. Badgers lining up their kickoff team, and the first kick of the game is on the way, and we are underway. Fielded at about 14 by Barta, bringing it down the near side. Trying to find some room to run, gets around a couple of guys across the 40. He's got one guy to meet, forced out of bounds at the 50, and a nice return by Brock Barta. Nice move by Brock. He looked like he was going to cut back to the middle of the field, and then did a little juke move, got out on the sideline, and one guy was able to force him out for the Badgers. I believe that was the kicker, Tadlock. So the Lumberjacks will come out on offense first. They have their huddle. They break it. Up to the line of scrimmage they go. 3 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. Looks like a running back flank. That's Aiden, you're out. Flank to the right of Jack Barta in the pistol. Sends that man in motion. You're out into the flat. Barta's going to go deep right off the bat. He's got Gustav, and there's going to be Gustav catches it, but he's out of bounds. And maybe a little bit of a push there by the defender, but pretty good coverage. The defender knew he was beat, so he kind of took a lunge there before the ball got there, but didn't make a lot of contact. So that's why the no call happened, but really close to being a penalty right off the bat. So that kind of breaks the streak. In the first 2 games of the season, Barta has gone like 8 for 8 in both games to start off. So he's 0 for 1 right now. Same formation for the Lumberjacks. 3 receivers to the top, 1 to the bottom. Snap. Barta looks to throw again. He's going to flush out of the pocket to the far side. He's going to look deep.
going for Jack, or for Brock, and that's going to be incomplete. Brock looking for a flag. He's not going to get the call, and that'll bring 3rd and 10 for St. Mary's as the Lumberjacks try to strike twice deep on a couple of pass plays. Lumberjacks wanting to get the passing game going early so that they can hopefully open up the run game, because Badgers have some big guys on that defensive line. 2 incompletions so far, though. Watch for the Badgers to maybe bring some pressure this time because it's 3rd and long. They know that the Lumberjacks are probably going to pass it. 2 receivers each side of the formation. Year out flank to the left of Barta. Barta in the pistol. And we're going to get a encroachment as the Lumberjacks are able to draw the Badgers offside. So it'll give the Lumberjacks 3rd and 5 now, up to the 45 of Bonners Ferry. So makes it, instead of 3rd and long, 3rd and manageable. Same formation for the Lumberjacks. Barta in the pistol, Year out flank to his left. The long and Barta, Brock on this near side for wide receivers. Jack takes the snap, fakes the handoff. He's going to try to run himself. The ball is stripped out of his hand, and I think the Badgers got on top of it. I think Abubakari is the one that pulls that in.
Looks like Badger ball. First and 10
Not
at the 5-yard line.
Not the way you want to start if you're the Lumberjacks. And the Badgers will start 1st and 10 on their own 46-yard line. So the Badgers up to the line of scrimmage. As watching them play, they're probably going to come out with a run play. Quarterback in the shotgun. That is Stoley. Oh, no, he's under center. Hands it off to number 2. He's going to power through, get tackled by Year out.
7-yard run by
Conrad Hyatt with a 7-yard pickup. Year out with the tackle. 2nd and 3 for the Badgers on the Lumberjack side of the field. Early first quarter. Badgers break the huddle. They've got 2 receivers set, one at the top, one at the bottom. Quarterback's under center. That's Stoley. Takes the snap. Hands off to Moss. Moss is going to get a yard or so and then stood out by a whole host of Lumberjacks.
Gain of 1 on the play by Keenan Moss.
Lumberjacks really swarmed to the ball there. Brings up 2nd or 3rd and about 2.
3rd and 2.
Probably 4-down territory if the Badgers don't get it here on 3rd down. So St. Mary's probably needs to be open to what could possibly be a pass here. 1 running back, or 1 receiver to the top, 1 to the bottom. Stoley under center, 2 running backs behind him. Stoley takes the snap, pitches out to Moss. Moss has the edge. Going to get a big hole, and going to be Barta to bring him down. That's Brock, but a big pickup for Moss.
31-yard line.
Take that down to the 31. Give Brock Barta the tackle. 1st down, no and 10 for the Badgers. Actually, it looks like it's more about the 32. We know the Badgers are going to be able to, not be able to. We don't want them to be able to, obviously, but they are a big, powerful team, and they are going to be hard to slow down. Same formation, quarterback under center, 1 to each side for wide receivers, running backs in the backfield in the I formation. Handoff again to Moss. Oh, it's a fake on the throw. They're going to throw it out to the number 1. It's complete. Jackson Harold with the tackle.
Alex Stoley to Cooper Higgins for about a 7-yard gain.
Stoley to Higgins.
Badgers.
Pick up a 7. I believe it was Jackson Harold with the tackle. Brings up 2nd and 3 for the Badgers. I thought they handed that ball off to Moss, and the quarterback did a good job, Stoley, pulling that out and rolling out to his right.
getting the pass. Going to be a pitch out this time to the number 2 of Hyatt. He's going to try to get the edge, and he will get it for just enough yards to pick up the first down. Gear out there for the tackle. The ball will be placed at the Lumberjack 15, let's call it St. Mary's 16-yard line. Gear out and Morris on the tackle. First down, though, for the Badgers. 1st and 10 at the Lumberjack 16-yard line. Might be more like the 18. One receiver to each side, Stoley under center. Going to take the pitch, flip it out, or take the snap, flip it out to Moss. He'll be tripped up. He's going to lose his footing, stumble forward for a couple yards. Might credit Jackson Harold with tripping him up. Looks like no gain on the play. So 2nd and 10 for the Badgers. Badgers break the huddle. Again, same formation. Looks like one receiver to the top, one to the bottom. Stoley under center, 2 running backs lined up behind him. Snap. Going to fake the handoff, rolls, flips it out to Hyatt, and it's not really high. It was actually a pretty good pass. Hyatt just couldn't pull it in.
3rd and 10 Badgers.
Brings up 3rd and 10 for the Badgers. Again, into Lumberjack territory, so it'll be more than likely 4-down territory. Badgers break the huddle. Up to the line of scrimmage. One receiver to the top, one to the bottom. Stoley under center. Got his 2 running backs lined up behind him. Stoley takes that snap. Takes the handoff. Going to roll the throw. Flips it out to Hyatt again. Hyatt in the flat. He's going to hurdle one guy, and then he'll be tackled out of bounds by Harold. I think he got enough for a first down, though.
Here's the 1st and goal from the 6-yard line, Badgers.
Well, Badgers moving the ball right along. Oh, they got first down. That's first and goal from about the 6. Badgers putting together a pretty good drive to start things off with. One receiver to the top, one to the bottom. Stoley under center. Takes the snap to Moss. Moss finds some room to run, gets away from the defense, and the Badgers will strike first here on this evening. Oops, that's a touchdown. Badgers will kick the extra point. It is good. And the Badgers take the early lead, 7-0 over the Lumberjacks here at Lumberjack Field. We've got 7:34 to go in the first period. St. Mary's will get the kickoff. We'll be back after this.
Looking for future leaders we can believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Idaho. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It includes learning to listen, accepting responsibility, being a good role model, and it's about respect. The result, it transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. This message presented by the Idaho High School Activities Association and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
And we are back. Badgers will get ready to kick off. Barta and Morris back for the Lumberjacks with Christopher Brousseau as well. Tadlock to kick off for Bonners Ferry. Kick is off. short kick this time. Morris is going to field it at about the 26-yard line. He's going to find a little bit of room, and he'll be tackled at the 40.
Caden Morris brings it out to the 41-yard line for the Lumberjacks. First and 10.
Lumberjacks start first and 10 on the left hash mark. One receiver to the bottom, or two receivers to the bottom, two to the top for St. Mary's with a four-receiver look. Running back flanking Barta. They're going to hand it off this time. Year out, tries to find some room up the middle, gets bottled up.
On the carry for no gain. Second and 10, Lumberjacks.
Brings up second and 10 for St. Mary's.
St. Mary's comes to the line, playing a little tempo.
Two receivers at the top, two to the bottom. St. Mary's, a little bit of hurry up there. They're going to throw the ball this time. Barta's going to escape. He's going to look up the... Caught by Brock Barta at the 20. Nice pass as Barta makes the adjustment to catch the ball from his brother, threw it inside a little bit, and Barta able to track it. Nice connection there with the brothers, and St. Mary's goes again fast. They're at the 33-yard line of the Badgers. Lumberjack's going to run it again this time. It's going to be year out up the middle.
About 5 yards, 4 or 5 yards should be second.
Going to give year out a 5-yard pickup this time. Quickly to the line for the Lumberjacks. Two to the near side, two to the top. Barta in the shotgun, or in the pistol. He has his running back flanking him. Takes the snap, hands it off to year out. Year out. Tries to push his way through, picks up a couple yards.
Another 2 or 3 yards will be third and 3 to 4 to go.
We'll call it third and about 4, actually. 28-yard line. Two receivers top, two to the bottom. Snap to Barta. He's going to look to throw. He's got Gustav. Gustav with the catch on the far sideline. Across the 10. Dancing down to the 5-yard line before being tackled. Lumberjacks will get the first down. Gustav, I believe, with his first reception. And the Lumberjacks are at first and goal on the 20-yard pickup. Nice catch and run by Gustav. Two to the near side, two to the top for St. Mary's. They're going to hand it off to Caden Morris. Morris picks up a few. Nice run, hard run by Morris. They're going to stay all the way to the 1-yard line, I believe. Lumberjacks running their substitution off. Going to get it to Peaches. That's Stoughton.
Zach Stoughton on the carry, stopped short of the line to go.
Stoughton, I think, gets no gain.
The third and goal.
Short yardage running back there for the Lumberjacks.
2-yard line.
I think there might have been a little bit of miscommunication on that handoff as well. .446 to go in the first period, first quarter. 7-0, Badgers lead. St. Mary's knocking on the door. Two to the near side, two to the top of the formation for wide receivers. Zach Stoughton lined up behind Barta. And who's going to get the flag here? Because somebody from St. Mary's jumped as well.
On the play. Looks like offside or ball start on the offense. Move it back 5 yards.
Well, they haven't signaled that yet. No, it's going to be offside. It'll be encroachment.
Offsides on the Badgers.
It'll be half the distance.
Third and goal from under the 1. Let's go Lumberjacks.
So it'll be third and goal from the 1-yard line for St. Mary's. That call could have went either way. Barta takes the snap, hands off to Stoughton. The Badgers swallow him up in the backfield, though.
Jacks lose a couple on the play. It'll be fourth and goal.
Be fourth and goal from about the 3. Offensive line not getting no push up the middle right now against those big guys on the opposite side of them for the Badgers. Lumberjacks will go for it here, obviously. Fourth and goal.
Snap to Barta. And look to throw. He's got Brock just misses him. Just a little bit too far out in front of him.
Deep in their own zone.
So the Badgers will take over 1st and 10 on about their own 3-yard line. Nice drive by the Lumberjacks. Couldn't quite cash it in, though. Lumberjack defense here, this is where you try to get that stop in the backfield. You know they're probably going to hand it off to try to get themselves some room from the goal line. Hand it off to Moss. He's going to find some room, bounces off the Lumberjacks. Actually, no, it's not Moss. It is Hyatt, and he'll be chased down and tackled by Gustav, but a 45-yard gain for Hyatt, basically. Going to take that ball to the 45. Gustav able to chase him down for the tackle, but a big gain for the Badgers. Badgers come out with one receiver to each side of the formation, still in the I formation. Quarterback Stoley under center. Going to pitch it out to Moss. Moss is going to step through a couple of tackles, and then he's going to be brought down by a handful of Lumberjacks, one of them being Cody Mitchell. A 9-yard pickup. Well, it's going to be 1st down for the Badgers. 1st and 10 from the Lumberjacks 45. Badgers back to the line of scrimmage. They've got one receiver to the top, one to the bottom. Badgers doing what we kind of thought. Most of it's been on the ground so far. A little bit different formation for the quarterback. He's looking to throw. They like these passes out into the flats. Going to hurdle a defender. Picks up a couple more yards. Brought down by DeGravio. Pass was complete to Hyatt. That'll be a 1st down.
And less than a yard to go.
Well, now they're down to the 35-yard line. They say it's not 1st down yet, so I'm going to have to call it a 9-yard run. Another 9 yards. Second and 1 from the 36. One receiver top, one to the bottom. Running backs flanking each side of the quarterback this time. Stoley hands it off to Moss. He's going to try to reverse direction. Bounces off a couple Lumberjacks. Aiden Yearout takes him down after about a 6-yard pickup.
A cross-buck counter with a 1st down for the Badgers.
That ball going to be marked at the 27-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Badgers as they marching it down the field. Just running the ball down. One receiver to each side for the Badgers. I formation now. Stoley back under center. Takes the snap. Hands off to Moss. Moss finds a hole through that big offensive line. Shakes around a couple of defenders. Almost a tackle by Brousseau. He couldn't bring him down. Last man to try to get him was George. George couldn't get him down. And that's going to be a touchdown for the Badgers. Big run for Bonners Ferry. 27 yards on the touchdown. He said St. Mary's has emphasized this week the tackling. You're going to have to tackle them around the waist and legs to bring these guys down. And if you have to, you're going to have to try to stand them up and wait for help to get there because they are big boys. Waiting for the snap. It is down. The kick is up. And it bounces through the upright. Extra point is good by Hadlock. The Badgers lead 14-0 over the Lumberjacks with a minute 17 to go in the 1st period. We'll be back.
Afraid to touch that breaker box? Need some rewiring done? Call the professionals at M&S Electric. With nearly 40 years experience, there's no job too big or too small. From industrial and commercial to residential and service work, M&S Electric isn't afraid. Serving Benawashishone, Kootenai, and Latah counties, M&S Electric has you covered. Overhead work, M&S can do that too with their bucket truck. M&S Electric, 408 Main Avenue, St. Mary's. Give them a call, 208-245-3890. No job too big, no job too small. We do them all. M&S Electric.
And we are back. Badgers will kick off. Hadlock will kick it deep for the Badgers. Caden Morris, Brock Barta, Christopher Brousseau waiting for the return. St. Mary's had some good field position, marched all the way down to the 1 yard line, couldn't punch it in. Badgers up 17-0 or 14-0. Kick is off. It's a low line drive. It'll be caught by Barta at the 10. 10 taking it down that far side. He gets out of one tackle, flips down across the 20 at about the 24 yard line.
First and 10 Lumberjack.
Make sure they're going to mark that ball right at the 25. So St. Mary's will start first and 10 at the 25, their own 25, with 1:09 to go in the first. 14-0 Lumberjacks trail. We've got two receivers to the near side, two to the top for St. Mary's. You're out flanking Barta to the left. Barta takes the snap, hands it off to Year Out. Year Out tries to bounce outside, then tries to cut it back inside, comes loose, and it looked like he might have had some room to the opposite side, but gets bottled up after a couple yard run. Nice hard running by Year Out there to try to break free. But actually, it looks like he ends up losing a yard.
Lumberjacks are going to stay in the tempo.
Two receivers each side. Snap from Barta. He's going to look deep. Deep ball. Overthrows his receiver. I believe it was Gustav down the sideline.
Third and 10 Lumberjacks.
It'll be third and long for St. Mary's. Barta took a look to the near side of the formation, trying to look some coverage off, maybe trying to get the safety and stuff to bite, and then let that one fly and just overthrew the speedy Gustav. So it's third and long for St. Mary's. We're starting field position of the game for them. Let's see if they can get the first down here. They've been getting the Badgers to jump a couple times. I wonder if they'll try to do that again here. See if they can't gain 3-5 yards off of them. Two receivers top, actually looks like one receiver to the top, two to the bottom. Not going to try the hard count. Barta climbs the pocket, then he'll throw it. Ooh, high arcing pass. That's going to come back, and Brock Barta has to go into defense mode. It would have been caught out of bounds anyways, but that one, I think Jack was kind of a hope and a prayer on that one. Really high pass. Brings up fourth and long for St. Mary's, and I'm sure we'll see the punting team come out, and that'll be Grayson DeLong doing punting duties for the Lumberjacks. Going back to return is going to be Conrad Hyatt. Hyatt's going to wait at about the 50. Trying to get the personnel right out there for St. Mary's. DeLong takes the snap. A little bit of a low one. Able to pull it in. Nice deep punt. Hyatt fields it at about the 44. He's going to take it down that far sideline. He'll be tackled out of bounds, I believe, by Peaches.
And that should end.
I believe it was Zach Soten with the tackle. And the ball going to be placed, looks like at the Lumberjack 40. And bring the quarter almost to an end. So the Badgers will get one snap here. First and 10 on the Lumberjack 40. One receiver, two receivers to the near side. Stoley under center, takes the snap. Quick throw out to the flat, completed to Allred. Allred gets around Gustav. Gustav fights back, though, and is able to get him forced out of bounds. There's a good pickup, though, for the Badgers.
6 seconds left in the first quarter.
That ball is going to be brought down to, let me see who tackled, like I said, Gustav. That ball placed at the 23-yard line of St. Mary's. First and 10, and that's the end of the first quarter. The Badgers leading the Lumberjacks 14-0 after one completed. We'll take a quick break, come back with the second period as the teams switch in.
For all of your area high school sports schedules, updates, and recaps, including Lakeside, Kootenai, and of course, St. Mary's High School, pick up your copy of the St. Mary's Gazette Record every Wednesday. Not only will they have game recaps and highlights for area high school sports action, but local news and information. St. Mary's Gazette Record, pick up a copy today.
And we are back. Teams will switch in. St. Mary's, or the Badgers will say, since they're on offense, will now go left to right on your radio dial. 14-0 Badgers lead. Start of the second quarter. Said St. Mary's first two drives had some pretty good starting position. First drive didn't move the ball a whole lot. Second drive got the ball down to the 1-yard line, couldn't punch it in. This last drive they didn't gain any yardage, had to punt it away. And now the Badgers are on the Lumberjack side of the field. Badgers, two receivers at the top of the formation. Stoley under center, takes the snap, fakes the handoff to the first guy, gets it to Moss. Moss gets out of a tackle from Harold. Harold able to hold on, and they're slinging him around, but Moss still carrying the pile. My goodness, what a strong run by Moss. That took a whole host of Lumberjacks to bring him down. That ball is going to be first and goal for the Badgers all the way down to the 9-yard line. And for now, I'll credit Harold with that tackle, but that was a host of other Lumberjacks to get on him, too, to bring him down. They talked about it. These guys are big. They're going to take more than one sometimes to bring him down. Under center, Stoley hands it off this time to Hyatt. Hyatt finds a gap into the end zone. Touchdown, Badgers. Oops. I did not do that. $20-0 pending the extra point. St. Mary's trails early second period. Kick is up. That one is good as well by Tadlock.
Tadlock is good.
21-0 Lumberjacks trail. Lumberjacks are going to have to make something happen on this possession, I believe. I mean, they've got to get something down there in the end zone. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back.
The name says it all. Taco About It. What is it, you may ask? It's the best taco truck in town. Might even be the only taco truck in town. If you like tacos, and who doesn't, then you need to stop by Taco About It, located at 128 South Highway 3 in St. Mary's, across the street from XXX Feeds. Taco About It has too many tacos to list, so you will just have to try them all. Call in your order 208-582-8533, or just stop by. Taco About It, located across the street from XXX Feeds in St. Mary's.
We are back. Badgers getting ready to kick off. They're up by 3 scores over the Lumberjacks. This is a big possession offensively, I think, for the Lumberjacks. They're going to definitely need to put something together on this drive. They've not had any luck at stopping the big bodies of the Badgers. Tadlock to kick off. High kick fielded by Morris at the 25. Morris gets to the edge, sidesteps the sideline. I think I said he caught that at the 25. Carries that up to the 44. So decent field position for the Lumberjacks. Nice return by Morris. 11:10 to go in the first half. St. Mary's trails 21-0 to the Badgers. Two receivers near side, two to the top of the formation. Barta in the shotgun, flanked by Yearout. Snap, hands it off. No fakes, hand off to Yearout. Barta looking for some room. He's going to be tackled and brought down to the sack, a loss of about 2.
Barta sacked by Hunter Campbell. Second down and 11.
Sacked by Campbell for the Badgers. Second about 12 for St. Mary's. Oh, there was a flag.
Looks like we have a defensive holding on Bonner's Ferry. Run.
So no sack. Penalty on the Badgers. Defensive holding.
Lumberjacks will have first down and 1 yard to go.
First down for St. Mary's. 1st and 10. Gonna get the
Loss of a couple by Yearout there. Second down.
handoff to Yearout. And Yearout will lose a couple. Brings up 2nd and 12 from the 49 of Bonner's Ferry. So St. Mary's avoids their first sack of the season with a penalty by the Badgers. But then they still lost 2 yards after the next play on a run play. Two receivers top, two bottom. Barta going to throw. Look into the flat. Finds his man. Only going to get a couple of yards. Or about incomplete. Intended for Yearout. Came out of his hands right there at the end. First time we've seen Lumberjacks throw to a wide receiver. Or a running back, I should say, on the season. So it brings up 3rd and about 12. St. Mary's on the Badger side of the field. St. Mary's one of their keys was to stop the run game and make them have to go pass play, but they haven't been able to do that defensively. Again, Bonner's Ferry has some big boys out there. 2 receivers near side, 2 to the top. Barta in the pistol, takes the snap, looks to throw. Actually, I think it's the shotgun. He's going to look for Gustav, or no, it's not Gustav, that's Harold, and Harold toe tapped at the 29-yard line. Nice throw and catch.
Lumberjack first down.
Got that right down to the 29-yard line. St. Mary's picking up the tempo a little bit here. 18-yard pickup. 2 receivers near side, 2 to the top. Snap to Barta, looking to throw again. He's still scanning. Oh, he's going to throw that, but he's going to be hit as he throws it. Picked off, and I think this is going to be off to the races for the Badgers. Nobody's going to catch him. It was the number 58 of Stolt to get the interception. Barta was hit as he threw it.
Penalty after the play at ball.
We do have a penalty afterwards. So I'm not going to do anything with that penalty. Unsportsmanlike against the Badgers. They'll assess that on the kickoff. And the Lumberjacks' hole just got a little bit deeper.
Personal foul against the Lumberjacks.
Oh, no. I thought he pointed against maybe not. I thought they pointed against the Badgers as far as the penalty, but I could be wrong. Thought they gave the signal kind of like that unsportsmanlike. But again, we'll find out on the kickoff, I guess. Waiting for the extra point, 27-0. Badgers on top of the Lumberjacks. 9:32 to go in the first half. Padlock to kick the extra point. The holder is Hyatt.
Snap the hold. The kick is up, and that one looks good as well. Tadlock is perfect on the evening. 4 for 4 on extra points. The Badgers lead 28-0 over the Lumberjacks. 9:32 to go here in the first half of action. And Lumberjacks will receive the kickoff after this.
You're listening to the home of Lumberjack Sports, 1240 KOFE, St. Mary's.
And we welcome you back. Tough start for the Lumberjacks. Talking to Coach Humphrey, a lot of the stuff they talked about was that St. Mary's was going to have to stop the run game of the Badgers. And it's a hard thing to do because these Badgers are some big boys out here. They are not small guys. And so they're having their way kind of on the offensive line with St. Mary's and defensive line, honestly. They're not giving Lumberjacks a whole lot of running game either, while they're kind of having their way in the run game. Now, going to have a different return man. Caden Morris not out there. Got Isaiah Gustav and Brock Barta. Christopher Brousseau. I wonder if they're putting Morris somewhere else on kickoff. No, the Badgers will kick off from the 25 instead. After that penalty. Lumberjacks wait at their own 30. Kick is up. Barta will pick it up at the 24. He's going to take it to that far side, forced out of bounds at about the 36 or 37. Let's see where they mark that at. 30, we'll call it the 38-yard line of St. Mary's is where the Lumberjacks will take over on the far hash mark. St. Mary's brings one receiver to the bottom. That's Gustav. Three receivers to the top of the formation. Barta with the snap, hands it off to Year Out. Year Out finds a little hole, powers forward, picks up about 6. Call it a 6-yard run for Year Out. Quickly to the line of scrimmage. 3 receivers to the near side, 1 to the top of the formation. Barta in the shotgun, takes the snap. Going to throw it out to Brock. Brock makes the catch down the sideline across the 50, ran out of bounds at about the Badger 43. No, 40. Call it the 48-yard line of Bonners Ferry. Pickup of 8 and a first down for the Lumberjacks. Same formation, 3 receivers to the top, 1 to the bottom. Barta in the shotgun. Year Out flanking to the near side. Takes the snap. Looks to throw. Has a pretty good pocket going deep. He's got it. Gustav. Gustav with the catch. He's going to be tackled down at about the 4. Good job by the defender to catch back up to Gustav after he had him beat, but a beautiful throw from Jack Barta to Isaiah Gustav. Lumberjacks quickly back to the line of scrimmage. 43-yard catch. Marcus Speakman having to get off the field. Lumberjacks have Year Out and, boy, they got 2 running backs in the backfield. Year Out and Peaches. Both running backs lined up to the left of Barta. Barta takes a snap, gives it to Year Out. Year Out pushing. The pile still moving. Picks up a few yards on a nice hard run by Aiden Year Out. We'll call it the 3-yard line. I'm going to call it the 2-yard line. Second goal from the 2.
St. Mary's breaks the huddle up to the line of scrimmage. 2 receivers near side, 2 to the top. Year out, flanking to the left, and a timeout being taken. The timeout's being taken by St. Mary's. 7:43 to go in the first half. St. Mary's trails 28-0. Lumberjacks knocking at the door for the second time tonight. We'll be back. When you need that morning pick-me-up before work or school, there's one place that comes to mind. It's a place that loves our community, the St. Mary's Lumberjacks, and all the local businesses and people in our village. Shift and Grind in St. Mary's is all about the community. Whether it's helping raise money for the Booster Club or for a family in need, the Shift and Grind family are always ready to help. So be sure to stop by Shift and Grind for your caffeinated needs. Located at 132 First Street in St. Mary's, Shift and Grind says, go Lumberjack! Been wondering, hadn't seen Caden Morris come back out on the field, and I do see him sitting on the grass over the far side. We hope that he is okay. Lumberjacks up the timeout. They are 2nd and goal from the 2-yard line. Lumberjacks have been in this spot once earlier in this game, couldn't punch it in. Barter with 2 running backs flanking him to the left. Takes the snap. Gonna fake handoff, the throw. Incomplete. Good look, but DeLong could not quite bring it in. 3rd and 2. 3rd and goal from the 2 for St. Mary's. Lumberjacks were using that same formation, hoping to get the Badgers to bite more at the run action on that instead of the pass defense, but the Badgers able to get the defense on it. The snap again, same look. Zach Soten with the carry. I think he gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Hand off to Zach Soten. Will be 4th and goal Lumberjack.
Badger defense has stood strong when they definitely needed to down on that goal line defense. They say the ball's on the 5, but I don't think it is. 4 receiver set. Barta takes a snap, looks to throw, and it's caught, I believe, by Brock Barta. And it's a touchdown, Lumberjacks.
Lumberjacks get on the board.
I believe the 5th touchdown of the season for Brock Barta. Lumberjacks, they don't need 2-point conversions because the Badgers haven't gone for 2, but they are going to. St. Mary's is going to go for 2, though. 4 receiver look for St. Mary's. Barta shotgun, flanked by Yearout. Takes the snap. Going to throw it out into looking for the corner over there to Barta, and it's incomplete. Kind of surprises me the Lumberjacks. Kind of surprised me that they go for the 2-point conversion there because the Badgers have made just extra points. So Lumberjacks, I think, wanted to, being down by so much. I mean, that part of it makes sense to me. Being down by 28, they wanted to make that a little bit less of a deficit. So 28-6, St. Mary's trails with just under 7 to go in the first half. Prinzato will kick off for the Lumberjacks. And Lumberjacks have not onside all season this year. I don't really think they'll try it at this point, but hey, you never know. You're down by 22. No better time to try to steal a possession away from the Badgers. You've been having a hard time stopping their run game even when you pin them deep. We'll see what the coaches decide here on the kickoff. Hyatt and I'm not sure who the other return man is. I think it might be number 5, Petra. Kickoff is a low line drive. It's going to get back to the 10. Picked up by the number 5 of Petrus, and he's going to slip down at the 20.
The Badgers will take over at the 21-yard line.
And that was Spyro Petrus. number 5 with the return. And the Badgers will start 1st and 10 at their own. Oh, they're going to mark it at the 21.5-yard line. So 2 receivers at the top of the formation for the Badgers. Under center is Stoley. He's going to take the snap. Hands off, second man through. That's Moss, and he'll be wrapped up by Stewart, cleaned up, I believe, by a host of Lumberjacks. So I'll give it to Stewart. I'll give the tackles to Stewart Amato, who now isn't on my stat sheet, but him and I believe it was Cody Mitchell combining on the tackle. Last week, Amato was showing up in my stats program on Huddle. Tonight, it's not. 2 receivers at the top. Stoley going to throw it out into the flat. It's caught. Lumberjacks pursuit. And he'll pick up a couple of yards.
Allred, 3rd down and 4 to go.
Allred, number 4. Picks up about 3. Let's say the tackle was made by Barta. 3rd and about 4. Badgers quickly to the line of scrimmage. They're on about the 26-yard line. Going to fake the handoff. Going to throw it into the flat again. Nobody's taken care of that. Oh, the ball came loose at the end, but I think they're going to call it down. Barta and Year out combined for the tackle. ...36 yard line. I think that ball came out late. I think he was already down anyways. 1st and 10 for the Badgers, 36-yard line. 2 receivers set, one at the top, one at the bottom. Stoley under center. Fakes the handoff. Going to look to throw it. He pump fakes and goes deep and just off the hand of Allred. Pretty good coverage there by Barta. Badgers going to took a deep shot there. They've been getting St. Mary's to bite on that. Pass out in the flat, so they were hoping St. Mary's would bite hard on that. Brock Barta did a good job of staying with his coverage, and the pass just off the mark. 2 receivers set, one to the top, one to the bottom. Stoley under center for the Badgers. Takes the snap, hands it off to Moss. Moss with a big hole. Gets off of a couple of tackles. Finally brought down by the 56 of Durham and 23 of Year out. Again, Moss has been really hard to bring down. Third and about 3 for the Badgers. 4:24 to go in the half. Badgers lead 28-6 over the Lumberjacks. And I'm going to get timeout taken by Bonner's Ferry. Be 3rd and about 4, 3rd 3 for Bonner's Ferry when we come back after the timeout. The Badgers lead 28-6 over the Lumberjacks with 4:17 to go before halftime.
If you know which side of a saw cuts wood, and if you can hammer a nail, you can do it yourself. Carpentry, construction, finishing, or framing, around here, you've got it made. You've got 10th Street Lumber. At 10th Street Lumber, we have the answers to your building and repair project questions. Every day, 10th Street Lumber helps homeowners get quality results. For lumber, blocks, power tools, fixtures, everything you need for a professional job. Don't pick up a nail until you shop 10th Street Lumber. 10th Street Lumber on the corner of 10th and Railroad Avenue in St. Mary.
And we got 4:17 until halftime. The Badgers lead 28-6 over the Lumberjacks. And speaking of halftime, we've got Brock Barta, our senior spotlight, for our halftime report. Badgers break the huddle after the timeout. 3rd and 4. 2 receivers at the top, Stoley under center. 2 running backs lined up behind him. Take snap, ball's on the ground, and I think they're going to say the quarterback's knee was down when he recovered it. No gain. So it brings up 4th and 4. Can the Lumberjacks get a defensive stop here? Let's see if the Badgers go for it. I mean, the Badgers are looking like they're going for it. They're on the Lumberjack side of the field, or on their own side of the field, but not by a lot. Look out for pass. Badgers, 2 receivers set. Hand it off, ball's on the ground. St. Mary's recovers. Diving on that ball is going to be the number 6 of Jackson Harold. Lumberjacks will take over on the Badger 40 after the turnover by Bonners Ferry. If St. Mary's can punch this in, that would be the biggest gift for them in this contest at the moment. 4 receivers set for the Lumberjacks. 2 to the top, 2 to the bottom. Shotgun snap for Barta, looks to throw. He's going to go to the flat, caught by Brock. Brock picks up about 6 or 7 yards on the far side of the field. Lumberjacks working quickly. Back to the line of scrimmage. 3 or 4 yards to go. 2nd and about 3 on the 33 of Bonners. Snap. Jack looks, flushed out of the pocket, comes to the near side, gets a block, has that high duck of a throw, and there's going to be no penalty there because both players were jockeying for that. Well, we get a flag late. So let's see. Didn't get a roughing the passer call against the Badgers. Should be a first 15-yard penalty, I believe. See where they mark that. Lumberjacks have 1st and 10 on their 30. So I was watching the ball after the release to make sure that that wasn't picked off. I didn't notice the, actually they're going to be all the way down to the, looks like they're going to be at the 20, no, down to the 19 or so. Four receivers set. Barta takes the snap, looks to throw. He's got a guy. Oh, right through the hands of Harold. Just about got that catch. Good throw. Good coverage as well. Good route by Harold. Just had that ball just slip right between his hands. Brings up 2nd and 10 for St. Mary's from the 18 of Bonners Ferry. Lumberjacks, 3 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. Barta in the shotgun. Ooh. That'll go against the Lumberjacks, 5 yards. St. Mary's has only had 1 or 2. They've not had a lot of penalties today. But it'll be 2nd 15 for the Jacks. And again, a timeout taken, I think, by the Lumberjacks, possibly. St. Mary's has the kind of a gift as the Badgers go for it on 4th. Badgers fumble it. St. Mary's, a nice pass to Harold to get St. Mary's down the field, and then a penalty on the roughing the passer, if I've got my events correct. has St. Mary's in striking distance, but they are 2nd and 15 on the Badger 24. They've got 2:42 to go before halftime. This would be huge for the Lumberjacks if they can punch one into the end zone and not leave the Badgers any time before the third end of the half. If they can get one punched in and hit the 2-point conversion, it'd be 14-28. They'd be down by just 2 scores. And that's definitely still within striking distance. But St. Mary's is going to have to execute. They had a little issue right there with that last play. That's really, I think, the first procedural penalty against the Lumberjacks in this one. Might even be the first penalty, honestly. St. Mary's breaks the huddle, 3 receivers near side. 1 to the top of the formation. Barta, shotgun, flanked by Year out. Year going to take the snap. Going to look to throw. He's going for Speakman. Speakman had that at the 10, wide open between a couple of defenders and couldn't bring it in. Tough one for Speakman there. Brings up 3rd and 15 from the 24 of Barnes Ferry. Badgers or Lumberjacks with 2 receivers at the top, 2 to the bottom, 3rd and long. Barta with the throw to Gustav. Gustav with the catch, gets one guy off of him, gets a block down to the 10, inside the 10, I believe. Should be very close to a Lumberjack first down.
Looks like it's going to be a Lumberjack first down. 8-yard line.
It'll be 1st and goal from St. Mary's down to the 8-yard line. Gustav, a good job getting loose to the tackler and fighting for extra yardage. Lumberjacks this time go to a 4-receiver set, 2 to the top, 2 to the bottom. Barta in the shotgun, flanked by Year out. The snap, Barta looks throw, a little bit of pressure, going to try to escape it. Scrambled, brought down after, I don't know if he gained any or lost some there. He might be back at the 6. No, might have gained a yard. And call it the 6-yard line, so gains 2. 2nd goal from the 6. Lumberjacks trying to punch one in here before the half. They trail 28-6 to the Badgers. 2 receivers set this time, 1 to the top, 1 to the bottom. Barta pistol. Year out lined up behind him. Going to hand it off to Year out. Year out tries to punch through the middle. He's going to get a short gain. I think he might have took it to the 5. Brings up 3rd and goal from the 5-yard line. St. Mary's in the huddle. I think the Jacks have 1 timeout left, possibly. This is really critical for St. Mary's to punch this one in. 2 receivers set. Barta takes the snap, fakes the handoff. Looking to throw. He's going to take off himself. He's still running. Is going to be tackled down again about the 5. No gain there. Brings up 4th. Nobody to throw it to. Timeout taken by St. Mary's. They're going to take their final timeout. 46 seconds on the clock. It'll be 4th and goal from the Badger 5. Wondering how to manage your retirement nest egg? How big should it be when you retire? Contact Jenny Oaks at Gateway Financial Partners to get the answers to these and all your other financial questions. The securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC. With over 30 years of financial planning, give Jenny Oaks a call at Gateway Financial Partners today. The guidance is free. The experience is priceless. Call 245-5255. Lumberjacks last chance here to touch down before the half. 4th and goal on the 5-yard line. Lumberjacks have been battling hard tonight against a very tough Bonners Ferry team. Lumberjacks break the huddle, coming back to the line of scrimmage. Badgers back out there. See, can the Lumberjacks pull something out of the hat here with 4th and goal from the 5? Barta has your out flanking him to the right. 4 receivers set. Takes the snap, takes the handoff, and he's got his man caught! Touchdown! Brock Barta! And the Lumberjacks cut the lead to 16 at the moment. 28-12. Lumberjacks going to go for 2. 42 seconds on the clock. Lumberjacks huddling up real quick. This is obviously an untimed play. Going to get the play translated to the rest of the guys. 4 receivers set, 2 to the top, 2 to the bottom. Barta takes the snap. Going to throw it. Oh, it's going to be caught in the end zone by the Badgers. No good on 2-point conversion, and the score is 28-12. St. Mary's trails with 42 seconds to go in the first half.
You're listening to the home of Lumberjack Sports, 1240 KOFE St. Mary's.
And that is a good way for the Lumberjacks to hopefully go into the half with that touchdown. They've got to make a defensive stop, though. I mean, the Badgers, I think, have 1 or 2 timeouts left themselves. 42 seconds is a lot of time. So this is when St. Mary's is going to have to watch out for the Badgers maybe to open up their pass game a little bit more. Grinzato will kick off for St. Mary's. Back deep is Hyatt and Petrus, I believe. That's who it was earlier. I wouldn't expect to see St. Mary's break out the onside here. You don't want to give the Badgers a short field with 42 seconds on the clock. And a couple of timeouts. Lumberjacks, the kick is off. Nice low line drive. The receiver of it falls down at the 15. St. Mary's trying to make a big hit. He's going to bring it up to the 29 or so. Didn't quite see who made the tackle. So the Badgers will be 1st and 10 at their own 30. 36 seconds on the clock. The return man, Petrus, was really close to having that knee down when he caught that, but he just got it up off the grass. I didn't see which Lumberjack that was, tried to make the big hit right there on him. I think trying to get a big hit to maybe pop that ball loose, but missed. Badgers 2 receivers to the near side. Got to have that pass coverage going here because the Badgers probably going to throw it. Stoley in the shotgun, takes a snap, or puts a man in motion, throws it into the flat. It's pulled in by Hyatt, but he's going to lose yardage. Big tackle by Harold. Badgers line it up quick. 2 receivers near side. And the Badgers are going to spike the ball. There's no spike option on here, so we're going to have to put it as an incomplete pass. So it's 3rd and about 11 for the Badgers. 13 seconds on the clock. This is where you sometimes as a team, you're trying to do a little bit too much. Just, you like that last time, not really doing too much, but that last time when they fumbled it on 4th down, they didn't really need to go for it in their own side of the field. They gave Lumberjacks a short field. So right now, you're kind of playing with fire a little bit. If something happens, you get a pick 6 returned on you or something. And now we're going to get a flag against Bonner's Ferry. So that'll move them back 5 yards. So now the Badgers may opt to just knee it down. And I don't think St. Mary's had a timeout left. So if they kneed it down, I was going to say if they took a knee, St. Mary's could call a timeout if they had one to use and make the Badgers punt it, more or less, but I don't think St. Mary's has a timeout left. 3rd and 16 is going to be tough to pick up. They might just run it and see if they can break a big run, and then it'll run the clock out. 2 receivers to the near side. Running backs flanking each side of the quarterback. Stoley takes the snap. Going to look to throw. He's going to throw it deep. It's going to be over the receiver's head, and that'll stop the clock and force the Badgers to have to punt, I believe, with 7.9 seconds. And again, this is where you play a dangerous game somewhat here, because again, you didn't get the interception or something like the turnover, but you know, a return to punt for a touchdown. I mean, the Badgers somewhat playing with fire here, because I don't think the Badgers will go for it at this point, obviously. If they knee it down, it'll stop the clock, so they can't kneel it. Their punter, at least on roster, is fluid, and that is, no, number 9 is in the back. That's Stoley. Now we've got some more confusion and a timeout taken by Bonners Ferry. So the Badgers take a quick timeout. Might have been some confusion on their punt assignment. That might have been their last. I don't know if that was their last timeout or not. Doesn't matter a whole lot. If you take a fair catch, no time will run off the clock. I don't know if St. Mary's will do that. They're not going to let the ball roll, or not going to want to let it roll, because the Badgers can just let the time tick out before they touch it down. But St. Mary's not putting anybody back for a return. Yeah, Stoley shows as the punter. And we get a flag on the Badgers. I'm not sure if that's Stoley. It is Stoley. So the Badgers will back up 5 more yards. And again, right now things are falling a little bit behind for them. I think they want to get time back on the clock for the punt. They've got to get the clock reset. Yeah, maybe they're going to leave it alone. I don't know. No, they're still got the. Trying to get the clock set. I think it was a pre-snap penalty, so it should still be at 7.9, I believe. But this is when we've had some issues. The scoreboard is a little fickle sometimes, so we'll see if they can get it to actually do what they want it to do. We are still waiting. I'm really surprised St. Mary's isn't put. Oh, nope, not 7:09. We do have a new scoreboard crew this year too, considering 2 of them, 2 of the ones that used to do it are coaches this year. We're going to take
Fall
a quick
is
break.
coming, and of course, cold weather. Now's the time to stock up on a few things. Triple X Feeds has magnetic wood pellets in stock, and it's never too early to be ready for the cold weather. Triple X Feeds also has alfalfa in stock as well as straw. And if you have some 4-legged woodland friends that look a little hungry, Triple X Feed can keep you loaded up on deer feed and deer block. Don't wait until the last minute. Stop by Triple X Feed in St. Mary's today.
Well, the clock went from 7 minutes to 80 minutes, so they're trying to get it worked out. I think they need to get just settled with 8 seconds on the clock, 7.9 something, but they got to get that going to get us to halftime. Again, I'm kind of surprised that St. Mary's isn't putting somebody back as a return man to at least maybe, if they can, fair catch the ball to stop the clock. There we go. Got it at 8 seconds exactly. That's a tenth of a second more. Maybe the Bonner's Ferry fans won't like that. I don't know. But that's where we can get it. That's where it'll sit. That's not really much. So looks like Stoley will be back there to punt it. He gets a nice one away. And somebody needs to get back there. It's not going to matter.
And that's the half.
So a nice punt from Stoley with no return. And the Lumberjacks, I think, have cut into the lead a little bit. 28-12 at the half. Bonner's Ferry leads. We'll take a break, come back with our senior spotlight, which is going to feature Mr. Brock Barta.
It's the kid in grade school who paints their face blue and white before every home game.
It's the accountants and salesmen who give up their Friday evenings to referee.
It's the cashier at the corner convenience store who wears school colors on every game day.
What makes high school sports here in Idaho so special? They do. You do.
We all do.
This message presented by the Idaho High School Activities Association and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
St. Joe Oil isn't just a fuel delivery company. They provide a much larger service than most people realize. St. Joe Oil can sell you a brand new Toyo oil stove and install it for you, and also keep your oil tank full. Not only that, St. Joe Oil plays a very critical role in our local industries. From logging to farming, St. Joe Oil keeps the fuel tanks full. From heating oil to off-road diesel and everything in between, call St. Joe Oil 208-245-2123. That's 208-245-2123. St. Joe Oil.
St. Mary's Realty is a St. Mary's icon. Why? Because they are a team. They work for you. And they've been a team for many years. Whether you are buying your first home, looking for a recreational cabin, or selling your current home, St. Mary's Realty puts their team on it for you. So stop in or give them a call today at 245-4502 and let their team be your team. That's St. Mary's Realty at 726 Main Avenue, St. Mary's.
Riverbend Car Wash and Laundromat, located next to Harvest Foods in St. Mary's. Open 24 hours, we have washers and dryers of all sizes to get your laundry done quickly. If you'd like to get your laundry done in less than 5 minutes, take advantage of our drop-off laundry service where we wash, dry, and fold it for you. While you do your laundry, be sure to take advantage of our touchless automatic car wash, which has that great undercarriage spray to get the grime off. Riverbend Car Wash and Laundromat can be found at riverbendbubbles.com or call 208-582-4844.
Whistle Stop Coffee and More has come a long way from the little shop on Railroad Avenue. How far? Not only did they upgrade their Railroad Avenue location, they added a second location. That second location for Whistle Stop Coffee and More is on 313 St. Joe River Road. Both locations offer tasty drinks of coffee, Red Bull, or Lotus Energy, and food options, from acai bowls to cookies and delicious bagel sandwiches. Whistle Stop Coffee and More is the perfect stop for a quick bite and a drink on your way to work or school. Whistle Stop Coffee and More in St. Mary's. Does your furry friend need a bath? Don't want to deal with the hassle and the mess from bathing your furry friend? Make an appointment with Barks and Bubbles Groom Shop today. Barks and Bubbles, located at 402 North 10th Street in St. Mary's, will have your furry friend looking and feeling like $1 million in no time. And guess what? No mess at home, no scratches, and no getting soaked from head to toe. Let Barks and Bubbles Groom Shop handle the work. Barks and Bubbles Groom Shop also offers pet boarding. Call for an appointment today at 208-245-5755. That's 208-245-5755. Barks and Bubbles Groom Shop in St. Mary's. There's a new shop on Main Street in St. Mary's. It's a gift shop. It's a home decor shop. It's a jewelry shop. It's a shop of bare necessities. Bare Necessities Trading Company is located at 822 Main Avenue in St. Mary's and has just about anything you could think of. From rocks and minerals to specialty foods, knives, and handcrafted soaps and lotions, there really is too much to list. So stop by Bare Necessities Trading Company today and pick up a gift, something new for your house, or a cup of coffee. That's Bare Necessities Trading Company, located at 822 Main Avenue in St. Mary's.
And it's time for our senior spotlight. We have St. Mary's Lumberjack senior Brock Barta. Brock, thanks for talking to us today.
Yeah, of course.
All right, Brock. Well, let's get right into it. What sports do you play?
I play football and basketball.
And senior year, is there any chance of playing something else in the spring this year?
That could be. I've been thinking about baseball, maybe track. I don't know yet.
All right. So which one is your favorite and why? Which sport?
Football. Football's been my favorite since I was a kid. I got raised upon it, learning how to catch at a young age. Football has always been the thing.
What has playing sports taught you?
Everything. Like teamwork, go out, just being able to cooperate with people. It makes a difference in your life. That's why I think sports are very important.
What is your favorite thing about playing sports?
Favorite thing? I mean, obviously the winning, but seeing hard work pay off, there's no better feeling than that. And winning it with your best friends,
All right. What is your least favorite thing?
I gotta see. Worst thing. I don't think about that, but I'd say getting rolled by a team that you thought you should beat. That's obviously the worst. Yeah.
Where are we at here? Do you got a favorite pro sports team and player?
Yes, absolutely. The Minnesota Vikings, and my favorite player be Jared Allen. I met him when I was a kid, and he's the reason why I like the Vikings.
Awesome. What are your goals this year on and off the field or court?
I would say, obviously, win a state championship. And then my goals, to break school records, whether it's receiving or reception. And then off the field, I'd say finish with good grades and get into a good college.
All right, we're talking with Brock Barta, our senior spotlight today. We'll take a quick break and be back with more.
It's not just saving. It's preparing your kids for college, owning your tomorrow, and saying yes to that home, trip, or the next chapter. At P1FCU, we believe saving should work as hard as you do because every dollar you set aside is a step toward freedom. We're not just your credit union, we're your future's biggest fan. Explore better banking with P1FCU. Learn more at p1fcu.org. Insured by NCUA.
Kenny and the crew at 10th Street Superstop invite you into the biggest convenience store in town. 10th Street Superstop is your one-stop shop for gas, propane, snacks, and ice-cold drinks. Stop in for breakfast or lunch, breakfast burritos and pizza to paninis and fajita burritos. 10th Street Superstop has something for everyone. Whether you're headed to a Lumberjack game or out into the woods, 10th Street Superstop is the place to stop for anything you may need. 10th Street Superstop on North 10th Street in St. Mary's. When you think of Potlatch-Deltic, you might think logs or lumber. When I think about Potlatch-Deltic, I think of family, community, compassion. You see, Potlatch-Deltic is more than some company in St. Mary's. Potlatch-Deltic is a community supporter in more ways than one. Whether it's donating to a fundraiser or nonprofit group, or giving a high school or a summer job that could very well turn into a career, Potlatch-Deltic is there for our community. We, for one, want to thank Potlatch-Deltic for what they do and hope that you will also. Potlatch-Deltic, proud supporters of, well, St. Mary's.
And we're back. We're talking with Brock Barta, a Lumberjack senior. Brock, what are your plans after high school?
I plan to attend the University of Gonzaga to study engineering.
Sweet. What is your favorite subject in school?
I like math, and I liked Cooper's class last year.
If people can't tell, we're doing this interview in the parking lot, so hopefully all of the people squealing out at the parking lot don't affect our interview too much. Okay, next one. I kind of figured math might be one of the favorite ones, being engineering, the stuff you're looking at too. You got to be pretty good at math to do that stuff. Name someone that you look up to in your life.
I'd say my dad. Definitely as his coach and as a person, I strive to be like my dad.
All right. Does your teammates have a nickname for you?
Just Barta.
Just Barta?
Barta. That's it.
Your brother, they don't have a nickname for him either. Jeez.
I know, yeah. Very simple.
What's your most memorable moment at this point?
I'd say sophomore year of basketball, riding lime scooters in downtown Boise. That's something I'm never going to forget. Yeah.
And who would you like to thank?
I'd like to thank my family and my friends and just anyone who support me, and especially my girlfriend, Angela.
All right. Well, we want to thank you for talking with us. We want to wish you luck this year and beyond. And, hey, have a great season.
Of course. Thanks, Jim.
That's been Brock Barta, our senior spotlight. We'll take another break and come back with more.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Idaho. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance. This message presented by the IHSAA and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
Well, well, well. Are you in need of a reputable, experienced, and knowledgeable well drilling and pump company? Look no further than Interstate Drilling and Pump. Interstate Drilling and Pump drills new wells, deepens existing wells, installs and repairs pumps, and does well testing both for water quality and gallons per minute. Interstate Drilling and Pump has 24-plus years of experience and serves from Moscow to Rathdrum and the Silver Valley. Well, what are you waiting for? Get on their schedule today. That's Interstate Drilling and Pump, 208-245-5101. 208-245-5101, Interstate Drilling and Pump.
Tax time is here again. I know. It's not your favorite. But at H&R Block, tax time is our favorite time of year. It's when our tax pros get to do what they love the most, help people. By getting to know you, they can make sure your return gets done right. It's not just about numbers, boxes, and forms. It's about personal care. So you get every credit and deduction you deserve. And with an average of 10 years experience, our tax pros get your taxes done right. Just one of the many ways Block has your back.
Janelle Martin Holmes, your Farm Bureau insurance agent in St. Mary's, is a proud Lumberjack supporter because they're her hometown team. When it comes to insurance, that's also one reason so many people in St. Mary's choose Farm Bureau insurance. They have a complete line of insurance products, including auto, home, commercial, and life, plus they have great customer service and competitive rates. And they're also a local company with local agents right here in St. Mary's. So let's hear it for our hometown teams. Contact Janelle Martin Holmes, your local Farm Bureau insurance agent in St. Mary's at 105 North 8th Street, St. Mary's.
Like most backseat drivers, I'm all about safety. Got potholes.
Got it.
So Les Schwab Tires makes my job easy. With surfaces like brakes, steering, and alignment. Those cheap tire centers just throw on tires. That's it. Now, I'm not telling people how to do their job. Linker. I'm just glad Les Schwab takes safety as seriously as me.
Help keep drivers and backseat drivers safe with Les Schwab Tires. Doing the right thing since 1952.
It's in Park, right?
Tim Parrish here at Lumberjack Field. The Lumberjacks trail 28-12 to the Bonners Ferry Badgers at halftime. We've got 3 minutes left in the halftime break. Take a look at some game stats for you now. Huddle is not always 100% accurate, so we'll go over what it shows us and let you know, and hopefully it's fairly close. Anyways, we've got both teams with 10 first downs apiece. St. Mary's has just 20 yards rushing tonight on 15 carries. The Badgers have had a good night on the ground with 158 yards rushing in the first half. The Badgers are averaging just about 10 yards per carry. St. Mary's has to come up with a way to stop the Badgers' run game. The Lumberjacks only averaging 1 yard per carry. So St. Mary's, they've got to stop the run, and they've got to see if they can't get that run game to work a little bit better for them in the second half as well. But they are down by 2 scores basically still, so they probably might come out and not. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see what St. Mary's does in the second half to try to help them get back into this thing. But in order to do that, they've got to get a stop first because the Badgers get the possession first in the second half. Passing 9 of 19 for the Lumberjacks, 8 of 11 for the Badgers, and the Badgers have been doing a lot of damage on those flare passes out of the backfield. St. Mary's has either Bonner's Ferry's doing a really good job of blocking that up, or St. Mary's is just having trouble getting somebody on that running back in those passes like that. So that's another aspect they do need to clean up just a bit. The Badgers only 51 yards passing. St. Mary's 145 yards passing. The yardage isn't too far off despite the score. 209 yards for the Badgers, 165 for St. Mary's. The Badgers did get one of their scores off of a pick six that was returned for a touchdown. So really without that, this score is only 10-point difference. So that was one where Barta had pressure coming in on him, got jostled around on the throw, and I think it was a linebacker that caught that ball. I think it was, number 58, Jake Solt is listed as a linebacker on the Badgers roster. And I don't think he's the guy with the interceptions. No, Allred had 2 interceptions already. So each team with a turnover. The Badgers with a fumble, St. Mary's with the interception. Third down conversion, St. Mary's 4 of 10, the Badgers 2 of 6. Fourth down conversion, St. Mary's 2 of 3, and it says the Badgers 0 for 2. Neither team has had a sack yet tonight. St. Mary's did get sacked once, but there was a holding penalty against the Badgers that negated that. So St. Mary's kind of got lucky on that one. Individual stats, it's hard to tell for the Badgers because Huddle is just kind of goofy, but it should be Stoley, the junior quarterback, Alex Stoley, with 8 for 11 passing for 51 yards. And I can't tell anybody else. Hyatt, I know, has a couple of catches for the Badgers. Rushing, the number 8 of Keenan Moss, he's the one doing most of the damage, and he has most of the season so far, early part of the season for Bonner's Ferry. According to our stats, 10 runs for 94 yards. On the Lumberjack side of things, Jack Barta, 9 of 19 passing for 145 with 1 interception. Isaiah Gustav has 3 catches, it would appear, for 78 yards. Brock Barta with 5 catches for 48 yards. Year Out has 8 carries for 16 yards. Again, the stout defensive line for the Badgers, very tough to run against. So the Lumberjacks are, like I said, going to have to figure something out in the run game to open that up, or they're going to just have to get that pass game to keep rolling a little bit to soften up that defense a little bit. Tackling-wise, I believe Jackson Harold having a pretty good game tonight. He's got, I believe, 5 tackles unofficially. Year Out has a couple of assists and a couple of tackles on the night as well. And that's really the tail of the tapes at the moment. The Badgers will get the second half kickoff, so St. Mary's going to have to come out and try to get a defensive stop. I think they've stopped the Badgers twice on defense so far. Once was that 4th down fumble by the Badgers, and once was right there at the end of the half, forcing the Badgers to punt, and it didn't really help St. Mary's any because the clock ran out. But St. Mary's has their work cut out for them. I want to see St. Mary's battle here in this game despite whatever the outcome is. Obviously, we would love to see a win or at least just a very close battle at the end of this game. But we got to see what happens. Both teams making adjustments. We'll see who weathers the storm. Does Bonner's Ferry bounce back after a tough end of the first half for them somewhat, or does St. Mary's come out with a different fire? Quick update, the only elite game that I could see a score on was Priest River and Grangeville. Priest River's up on Grangeville, 14-6 at halftime up in Priest River. We will take one quick break while we get ready for the kickoff.
Archie's IGA is not only a proud supporter of Lumberjack sports, but a proud supporter of the St. Mary's community and shopping locally. When you shop local, you help businesses support other local businesses, as well as helping your local businesses to provide jobs. Did you know that local business taxes help maintain communities and counties by fixing roads and maintaining recreational facilities? Local business owners invest in the community and have a vested interest in the future of our community. So won't you help Archie's IGA by supporting your local businesses and shop locally? Oh yeah, and let's not forget those Lumberjacks.
And we are back. The Lumberjacks are out there ready to kick off the ball. The Badgers just now heading out. St. Mary's will kick off from right to left. Hyatt is back deep. Badgers almost look like they're expecting maybe St. Mary's to onside it to start the second half. Now, honestly, I wouldn't have been surprised necessarily, but I don't know if St. Mary's will do it. Gardner comes in for the Badgers as well. They've got everybody up tight. Only mine back is Hyatt. Prinzato to kick off for the Jacks. It's going to be a low kick. It's going to be on the ground, bouncing down to the 31. Picked up by Hyatt. He's going to find a big hole. He's got one guy to try to outrun. And going to catch him and give him a little push out of. No, he dives. They're going to check with the sideline.
Out of bounds,
And
just short of the goal.
no, the Badgers are going to score the touchdown. The Badgers score an opening kick touchdown by Conrad Hyatt.
Correction, that was Conrad Hyatt with the touchdown.
He's going to field that on about the 23-yard line. Marcus Speakman tried to get there and shove him out of bounds, and Hyatt dives to the end zone. So not exactly the way you want to start it up the second half. No time off the clock, really, but that the Badgers just extended their score by 6, maybe 7. Waiting for the extra point by Tadlock, and he has been perfect on the evening. So the extra point is good, and the Badgers, without an offensive snap in the second half to start things with, go up 35-12 over St. Mary's.
35-12.
So St. Mary's will get the ball fairly quick on offense, but not the way they would like to have. They had just a big opening opened up. I thought St. Mary's had a couple of guys. Even Marcus Speakman was chasing him down, and also chasing him down was the 24, Prinzato. Speedy guy there. He almost caught him as well, and Marcus was able to dive and push him, but Hyatt tiptoes the sideline and dives into the end zone. Unfortunate if you're the Lumberjacks, but a beautiful, beautiful play and stat line for Bonners Ferry. And I don't think that was a missed kick. I think Prinzato meant to kick it on the ground up the middle, maybe trying to get that to pinball off of something. There was a lot of Badgers bodies for that to maybe hit one of them, and it didn't. So lining it up for the Badgers will be Tadlock. Back for the Lumberjacks is Gustav and Barta and Brousseau. Kick is off. Low line drive. It'll be fielded by Barta at the 15. Barta will be tackled across the 30.
Just past the 30-yard line at 32. First and 10, Lumberjack.
First and 10 at the 32 for St. Mary's. Lumberjacks need to have an answer of their own here. A quick score would be ideal, being down by 23 points. I believe my math is correct. 2 receivers near side, 2 to the top of the formation. Barta takes the snap, looks to throw. Across the middle to Brock Barta. Brock out of bounds across the 40, almost to the 45. It'll be a first down for St. Mary's. About a 12-yard pickup. First and 10 for St. Mary's. They're back to the line of scrimmage really quick. Not letting the Badgers get any substitutions in and out. 2 receivers to the top, 2 to the bottom. I said Lumberjacks not really in a hurry up. They're just wanting to keep the Badgers from substituting, I believe. Snap. Barta looks to throw. Quick throw. Little comeback route. Intended for DeLong, and off the mark. If he would have broke to the outside, he might have caught that. It might have been right into his breadbasket, but he broke to the inside. And it's incomplete. Second and 10. St. Mary's back again quickly to the huddle. Badgers trying to make a sub. And Lumberjacks going to get the Badgers to jump, I believe.
Flag on the play.
Encroachment on the Badgers. Brings up second 5 as it'll now march that ball up 5 yards. That's the 3rd time the Badgers have bit on the Lumberjacks hard count. 2 receivers near side. 1 to the top. 3 to the near side. Snap to Barta. Barta looks to throw. Good pocket. Oh, overthrows Gustav. It'll be picked at the 35 by the Badgers. Fluid with the interception. No, Cooper Higgins, they say, with the interception. Just overthrew Gustav. Gustav with the tackle. Badgers offense takes over. 1st and 10 on their own 35. Second interception of the game for Jack. Badgers going to pitch it out to Moss. Moss gets off of one tackle by Stewart. Diving to get the tackle is going to be Cody Mitchell. Mitchell, a good shoestring tackle. Into the Lumberjack side of the field, though. 46-yard line. One receiver to each side of the formation. Stoley under center for the Badgers. Takes the snap. Hands off. First man through. That was a heck of a fake to Hyatt. Actually, it was a fake pitch, and they handed off to Hyatt, and Hyatt found a big opening up the middle. Tackled by Yearout. That ball onto the 34-yard line of St. Mary's. That was pretty good. The way that play timed out, they faked the pitch, and then the first running back just a little delay, and then they hand it to him after the pitch, or the fake pitch. Under center again is Stoley. He's going to hand it off this time. Oh, the Lumberjacks had a chance to get him in the backfield. Big guy, hard to bring down. He'll instead turn it into about a 5-yard gain. Whole host of Lumberjacks to bring him down.
5-yard gain by Moss.
Again, I think what happened there was a Lumberjack tried to tackle him up high. And Moss, you're not going to tackle up high necessarily. Second, about 6 for the Badgers, up to the Lumberjack 34-yard line. Right about the 30, actually. Going to take the snap, pitch out to Moss. He's going to come to the near side. Gott's blocking up in front of him. Getting the tackle, though, is going to be the 56 of Durham. Nice tackle by Durham. About a first down for the Badgers up to the Lumberjack 20.
First
So
and 10 back.
10-yard gain. Badgers haven't had any much trouble running the ball against the Lumberjacks here tonight. Again, I do believe the Badgers have a pretty good size advantage. One receiver to each side of the formation. Stoley under center. 2 running backs flanking to each side of him. The snap, handoff to Hyatt. Hyatt finds a little bit of an opening off tackle. He's trying to spin off of a guy he can't. Durham will free the one that tackles him again. About an 8-yard pickup. Brings up second and about 8. Badgers continue their march down the field. One receiver to the top, one to the bottom. Stoley under center once again. 2 running backs. Takes the quick throw into the flat to Moss, and they get him an open field, and he's hard to tackle, and that'll be a touchdown by Moss. They throw to Keenan Moss, and the 12-yard run, and the Badgers tack on 6 more, making it 41-12, pending the extra point. Now, that is one guy you don't want to see catch it in the open field, then come barreling at you. I forget what it said he weighed, but he was, I think, in the 200s. Extra point will be kicked by Tadlock. Remains perfect on the evening, 6 for 6, and the score is 42-12. St. Mary's trails by 30 with 8:33 to go in the third quarter. If you want the best, you hire the best. Top Grade Roofing and Construction has over 25 years of experience and is licensed and insured. Top Grade Roofing and Construction can and will build just about anything. Need a deck? They can do it. Need siding? Yep. How about a fence? Of course. I mean, Top Grade Roofing and Construction might even build you a chicken coop if you ask. That's Top Grade Roofing and Construction. Call Vince for a free consultation at 208-269-3111. That's 208-269-3111. Top Grade Roofing and Construction. And we are back. Third quarter, 8:33 to go. Badgers lead 42-12 after a kickoff return for a touchdown, and then they had an interception just a little bit high on the throw from Barta, intended for Gustav. And the Badgers turned that into points as well. Badgers will kick off. Rousseau, Barta, and Gustav back to return. Just inside their own 20. That one's a high, kind of a short kick. Barta will field it at about the 14, 13, takes it to the far side. Looking for some room to run. Spins off of a guy. Is out of bounds at about the 30. I believe that's the fourth kick return for Barta. Lumberjacks come out of the huddle. They've got two receivers to the near side, two to the top of the formation. Barta in the shotgun takes the snap, looks to throw, finds Gustav over the middle. Gustav's going to pick up about 8, maybe 9 on the connection, on the slant across the middle from Gustav.
Second down and 2. Lumberjacks
Call it a 9-yard pickup. Brings up second and 1. St. Mary's getting to the line of scrimmage quickly. Again, 4 receivers set. Going to hand it off to Yearout. Yearout, a big hole up the middle. He's going to cut to the far side. Tries to get away with one tackler. He does. Down to the 30. Brought down at about the 25. Nice run by Aiden Yearout. All the way to the Badger side of the field. I believe he's down to the 25. Lumberjacks, we'll call it the 26. Lumberjacks quickly to the line of scrimmage. Snap. Barta looks to throw. He's going to be flush. No, he looks over the top. He finds Brock, and Brock will sidestep out of bounds. Picks up about 9 yards, I believe. Don't think, 9 yards. Second and 1 for St. Mary's. Second about half a yard. Quickly getting the play, trying to get it communicated. The Badgers get a substitution out. 4 receivers set. Barta to throw. He's going to look to, not sure who that was that made that catch. That is DeLong. I think it's about 2 yards. About a 2-yard pickup. So second and 10 at about the 15. First and 10. Barta's going to hand it off to Yearout. Yearout not going to find any room to run that time. He'll be bottled up in the middle of the field. Brings up second and 10 for St. Mary's at their own 15. Inside the 15, actually. It's at about the 12. So 2 receivers near side, 2 to the top. 1 running back flanking the right side of Barta. Now moves him to the left side. Snap. Hands it off to Yearout. I don't know if Yearout was supposed to take that ball or not, but he does. And Uriel will pick up about 1.5 yards on the carry. Brings up 3rd and about 8. 3rd and 9 for the Lumberjacks. Two receivers near side, 2 to the top for the Lumberjacks. Barta has Uriel flanking him to the left, takes the snap, takes the handoff, looks to throw. He's got a pretty clean pocket. He's going to go for his receiver in the end zone, just a little bit off on the pass. It's incomplete. Brings up 4th down for St. Mary's. Lumberjacks have to go for it here. They can get a 1st down, obviously. I have that marked at the 10-yard line. Pretty close to 10. So actually, they can get a 1st down, but it's like at the 1-yard line. Two receivers set. Everybody in tight to protect. Barta looks to throw. Flushed out to the far side. Gonna find Speakman. There is a penalty. He didn't get the 1st down. I mean, he didn't get the touchdown. See what the call is. It's in the area of like a offensive PI against St. Mary's. I think it's a 15-yarder. They'll put St. Mary's back at the 25-yard line. I think they might have had. The 1st down, but Speakman must have got a little push off there to get to that ball. So it's 4th and long for the Jacks. And throw. Barta is going to be wrapped up and brought down for a sack. Getting in there to get the pressure is Vincent, and Barta will lose a few more yards.
6 minutes left to go in the 3rd quarter.
They're going to mark the ball at the 34. And that's where the Badgers will take over. 1st and 10 for Lumberjack, 34-yard line. St. Mary's had a pretty good drive going there. That one penalty stalled them out, though. So one thing I can say for this year's Lumberjacks, they've definitely cut back on the penalties. Penalties hurt them in a lot of games last year. I think that's only the first one that's like negated a big play for them. Badgers have one receiver to the top, one to the bottom. Stoley in the pistol takes a snap, hands it off to Hyatt. Hyatt will be tackled by Speakman after picking up 10.
1st down.
Now we have an injured player out there for the Badgers. We'll take a timeout while they check out the Badgers player. We hope that he is okay.
Hughes Ace Hardware wants to invite you to come in and take a look. Hughes isn't just about hardware. Whether you need dish soap and sponges to clean up after your husband's guys' night, or storage solutions for your wife's shopping addiction, you can find it at Hughes. Come see the difference. Everything you need, from a blow dryer to replace the one your toddler dropped in the toilet, to a bathroom scale to help your hubby stay on his fitness goal. Hughes Ace Hardware is the place to get the products you need and the help you want all the time, every time.
The player that was down for the Badgers is Conrad Hyatt. He is up and coming off field. He's in some discomfort. We hope that he is okay. 5:54 to go in the third quarter. St. Mary's trails at 42-12. Lumberjacks would like to get a defensive stop here, obviously. One receiver to the top, one to the bottom. Quarterback Stoley under center. Two running backs lined up behind him. Going to take the snap. Off to Moss. Moss is going to be brought down by there is a penalty. The tackle was made by Mitchell. You get a personal foul against St. Mary's, so a little bit of what I would call a boneheaded penalty there. I think somebody came onto the pile late is really what it was. I'll move the ball across the 50 into the Lumberjack side of the field. I think down to about the Lumberjack 41. We'll see where they mark it. That's one of those things you don't want to see. I mean, hopefully it wasn't like an extracurricular kind of no. One of those plays. Hopefully it was just I didn't mean to dive on the pile 8. Stoley going to roll out to his near side, tries to get the pass away there for coverage is going to be the number 6 of Harold. Again, Harold all over the place this evening. Defensively. Timeout taken by St. Mary's.
Timeout on the field by St. Mary's.
We'll take it too. We've got 5:32 to go in the third. Badgers 2nd and 10. They lead 42-12. They're on 39 of St. Mary's.
Hugh and Margie Gannon of St. Mary's are proud to support the Lumberjacks and this Lumberjack Sports broadcast. The Gannons want to wish the Lumberjacks the best of luck this sports season and want you to know that they are proud of you. The Gannons say, "Go Lumberjacks!"
And we're back. Score update out of Orofino as the Maniacs fall to the Salmon Savages by a score of 6-0 in their game tonight. See if we can't find an update on the Priest River game. Badgers are back out there to get this going. 42-12, Badgers lead. It is 2nd and 10 for Bonners Ferry from the Lumberjack 39. Going to get a snap, quick throw out into the flat to Abubakari. His first catch, he's going to stiff arm a Lumberjack to the ground. He'll be forced out of bounds by Rousseau, and that's the first catch by Abubakari. And again, he's a big boy. He weighs, I think he was 6'8", 245 pounds. And if he gets ahead of steam, it's not going to be a fun one to track down. That's going to be down to the 25-yard line, a first down for the Badgers. Badgers kind of have everything open to them right now. They can do just about anything. Everything's worked for them tonight for the most part. Two receivers to the top, one to the bottom, or none to the bottom, Stoley in the pistol. He's going to take the snap with split tailbacks, hands it off to number 23 of Scarborough. Scarborough gets the edge and heads to the end zone for a touchdown for the Badgers. That will probably, I'm not sure the rule on it, but that could put us into a running clock. 5:15 to go in the game in the third. It's 48-12. The Badgers lead now, by 30. Never mind, they only are up by 36 at the moment. Never mind, it has to be over 40. Tadlock to kick the extra point. Hyatt to hold. He looks back. He's back out there. Good to see him up and good. Okay for the Badgers. And the extra point is good by Tadlock. So the Badgers lead it 49-12. And let's see here. Let's get a score update for 3A and see if we can find. Priest River is having their way with the Bulldogs. 36-6 is the score in the fourth quarter. We'll be back.
You always hear on the radio, cross the bridge to safety. But it's true. St. Mary's Harvest Foods has what you need when you need it. And if you don't see it, Then just ask one of the friendly staff, and they will gladly help you find what you need. From meat, super fresh produce, and dairy, St. Mary's Harvest Foods will save you big on the things you need the most. No time to cook tonight? Then check out the hot deli for something quick for dinner. St. Mary's Harvest Foods, where you truly can cross the bridge to safety.
And we are back. The Badgers will kick off. After the touchdown, they lead 49-12 over St. Mary's. Tadlock to kick the ball off. I don't know if it's actually somebody different. Going to get Fluid, I believe, with the kickoff. Building it for the Lumberjacks is Gustav at the 15. Gustav will be tackled down at the 22. I don't know. I mean, I know who kicked it for the Badgers. It was Fluid, I believe, but you can actually get marked at the 24-yard line. So 1st and 10 for St. Mary's on their own 24-yard line. Lumberjacks showing no quit, just like they should. 2 receivers to the near side, 2 to the top of the formation. Barta in the shotgun. Takes the snap. Hands it off to Year Out. Year Out had an opening for a minute, but Abubakari jumps on his back. Year Out able to carry him for a little bit. About a 4-yard pickup, I believe. On the run up middle. Brings up 2nd and 6 for the Lumberjacks. Back on their own 28. They trail 49-12 to the Badgers. About 3/4 of the way through the third. Take the snap. Barta looking to throw. He's going to go across the middle, and that's going to be tipped up in the air by Gustav and intercepted. Picked off by Higgins. It was caught at about the Lumberjack 36 is what we'll call, and returned. We'll call it 42 and returned Lumberjack 33. Second interception of the game for Barta, and that one off the field, a little bit high, off of Gustav's hands, and the defender was in the right spot at the right time. Higgins was that grabbed that ball. Badgers back on offense. Stoley in the pistol. 2 receivers to the top, 2 to the bottom as they spread out the receivers for the first time. Snap, quick throw, and the receiver, little miscommunication there with Scarborough. Incomplete. Second and 10 for the Badgers on the 33. 4:22 to 33 of St. Mary's. 4:22 to go. Badgers lead 49-12 here in the third. Lumberjacks don't want to get down into a running clock, I don't think. So let's see what Jacks can do defensively. Two receiver set, 1 to the top, 1 to the bottom. Stoley under center, snap, handoff to Moss. Good tackle there by Cody Mitchell, who gets there first. Couple yard gain, maybe. Mitchell and Russell Brousseau comes in to help clean that up. Picks up about 2 yards. Going to be a 3rd and a long 7. Two to the top, 2 to the bottom for the Badgers. Stoley in the pistol. Moss lined up behind him, takes a snap, looks to throw. A little bit of pressure coming from the Lumberjacks. Incomplete is, I believe that was, I thought it was Mitchell getting back there to put the hit on the quarterback. That was pretty close. You got to be careful with those hits. I mean, it was just about a step after he released the ball, and luckily you don't get a roughing the passer on that one. That's a very close one to have there. Brings up 4th down for the Badgers. 4th and 8 from the Lumberjack 31-yard line. They're going to actually kick a field goal. It's going to be Tadlock.
to me, that's showing a little bit of sportsmanship out of the Badgers as well. Because I mean, I don't know if he can make them, but we'll see. He's been on tonight from the extra points. Nice kick. It was in the middle of the field, but it was no good. And part of me wants to believe that that is some sportsmanship there from the Badgers. And it's not letting me put this as. There we go. No good. There we go. And Lumberjacks will take over. 1st and 10 on their own 20. The Lumberjacks break the huddle. 3:23 to go in the third. 49-12. St. Mary's trails the Badgers. 3 receivers to the near side, 1 to the top of the formation. Barta has Brousseau flanking him to the right. Barta looking to throw. Gets Brock Barta at the 20. Brock down across the 30. Nice block. And a late flag comes in. A couple of late flags come in. So complete pass. But I think there's going to be coming back with a penalty. I think it's going to go against St. Mary's. Going to get a block in the back. So just kind of the mental mistakes there. You get a little bit frustrated with how the game's going. Make that block you shouldn't make. With St. Mary's back at the 25-yard line. First and 10. Oop, that was not right. Barta's going to escape the pocket, but he'll be brought down and sacked, I believe.
Barta is sacked by a host of Badgers. Lost on the play. 2nd down.
I think he might have gotten. No, did he lose some yards or gain some yards? I'm trying to see here. I'll call it no gain. Barta going to throw. Flushed out of the pocket again. He's going to throw it. And it's caught by Brock Barta for a first down. Jack was getting flung to the ground by his jersey, gets the ball away. Brock able to come over and get the catch for the first down. That was kind of a Hail Mary throw of the ball right there, but it worked out for the Jacks.
And it is a Lumberjack first down.
The ball going to be marked at the 30. Oh, that's a first down. So going to have a run up the middle for St. Mary's.
Inside handoff to Zero. Gains a couple.
Couple of yard gain there. 2nd and 8 for St. Mary's. 1:41 to go in the third. St. Mary's trails 49-12. Lumberjacks deep on their own side of the field. 2 receivers to the near side, 2 to the top of the formation. Barta takes a snap, looks to throw. A little bit high, intended for his brother Brock there. Brings up 3rd and 8. Third and long for St. Mary's.
2 receivers to the top, 3 to the bottom. Empty backfield for Barta. And what do we got the flag? Does St. Mary's got to delay a game there? Yeah, St. Mary's took too long to get the play in there. Brings up 3rd and 13 for the Jacks. Man in motion. Takes the handoff to Harold. Throws it across the middle. Brock Barta with the catch for the first down across the 40. Down to about the 40. Called 43 of St. Mary. Still on St. Mary's side of the field. 1st and 10 for the Jacks. Nice in-breaking route for Barta. Barta to Barta connection there. Gives the Lumberjacks a fresh set of downs from their own 43. 2-4 receiver set. 5 receiver set. Kind of a low snap. Barta looks to throw. Oh! Yeah, there's going to be a penalty there as Brock Barta gets tackled by Gardner. It'll be incomplete, but the penalty be a 15-yard automatic first down for the Jacks. Should take to the Badger side of the field. I don't know if Samuel Gardner thought that the ball was out already or what, but he just straight up tackled Barta before the ball was even really in the air. Lumberjacks up to the line of scrimmage. 2 receivers top, 2 bottom. Man in motion. Actually, it's 3 receivers at the top. Harold comes to the near side. A little bit of pressure for Barta. Gets out of it. Throws it deep. He's got DeLong. DeLong with the catch as he comes back to the ball. Down to the 24-yard line. Good adjustment by Grayson DeLong to come back to that pass that was underthrown just slightly. And the Lumberjacks are in Badger territory, down to the Badger, I think, 22. As the clock ticks down here in the 3rd, 38 seconds left, 49-12, St. Mary's trails, 5 receivers set. Barta takes the snap. Pressure coming, steps up in the pocket, going to run with it. Gets away from one guy, slides down to about the 11-yard line, 12-yard line. Nice scramble by Barta. Going to be just short of the first down, so it's going to be about a 9-yard pickup. 2nd 1, 3 receivers near side, 2 to the top. Barta takes the snap quickly. Going to run it himself this time on the quarterback keeper. He's got room down the sideline, stretches it out. Touchdown, Lumberjack. That was a great design of a play there as kind of a quarterback draw. Barta drops back about 2 steps looking like he's going to throw it and then just takes off to wide open space and scores it for the Lumberjacks. 49-18, St. Mary's trail. Proud of how these Lumberjacks are still fighting here late in this one. Be going into the 4th quarter. Trailing by 30 if they make the extra point as they send DeLong out there. The hold is down. The kick is, it's going to be blocked at the line of scrimmage. A little bit low.
Extra point is no good.
Those scores still 49-18 in favor of the Badgers, and we are going to be starting the 4th quarter of play when we return.
Jack Fuel Trucking knows that there are few things as important as wise use of our natural resources. And by utilizing the chips in the manufacturing of lumber, that is exactly what is accomplished. If you look beyond the wood chip, you see an entire community of schools, churches, and businesses, and most importantly, people. Jack Fuel Trucking believes in the responsible harvesting of our natural resources. After all, when you take a close look, those aren't just chips. They're an entire community. Jack Fuel Trucking.
Sometimes accidents happen. You never thought it would happen to you, but it did. Where can you turn for that friendly hand of support? Jack's Pharmacy is your good neighbor pharmacy in St. Mary's, where you'll find personalized care. Whether you need crutches, supports, wheelchairs, or even a hospital bed, Jack's is here for you. We service both Medicare and Medicaid. If you need durable medical equipment, come to Jack's, your good neighbor pharmacy, where you'll receive personalized service and attention.
And we are back, kicking off for the Lumberjacks. It's not a kick return, it's St. Mary's kickoff. Prinzato will line it up to kick it off. Kickoff down the middle. Going to be bobbled and fielded at about the 11. Cody Mitchell with the tackle at about the 25. Didn't see who had the return there. I believe it was Mitchell with the tackle. Six tackles, it looks like, for Cody Mitchell unofficially. 49-18, St. Mary's trails the Badgers. One receiver to each side of the formation. I believe they still got Stoley in at quarterback. Under center, takes the snap, pitches it out to Moss. Moss coming near side. He's going to get wrapped up by a whole host of Lumberjacks. I'm going to say Mitchell and Durham, I believe, on the tackles. Brings up second and about 4 for the Badgers. Just on the 31, Badgers 31-yard line, 11 minutes to go. 49-18, St. Mary trails. Badgers hand it off up the middle. And with the tackle there again, I believe Mitchell. The running back was Scarborough. Mitchell with the tackle. Give him 3 yards on the pickup. 3rd and 1 for the Badgers. One receiver to each side of the formation for the Badgers. Running backs in the I formation. Stoley taking a look at the field judge to watch when he needs to snap it. Takes the snap, pitches it back to Moss. Moss trying to get to the edge. And he's going to just power his way through. Durham picks up the tackle. It'll be to the 45. First down for the Badgers. Nathan George tried to lower his shoulder. He didn't want to try to take on that big guy one-on-one. And Moss able to kind of spin around that tackle right into the arms of Durham. Durham brings him down. First and 10 for the Badgers at their own 45. One receiver to the top, one to the bottom. Stoley under center, takes the snap, pitches it out to Scarborough. Scarborough gets a block inside. Going to pick up about 9, tackled by Yearout. Might even be 10. And they will say first down. First and 10 for Lumberjack 45. The Badgers, 9 minutes to go. They lead 49-18. One receiver to the top, one to the bottom. Under center is Stoley. 2 running backs in the backfield.
Looks like they took Moss out for now. I don't know. I don't think he's out there. Going to get the pitch out, near side. Again, Durham with the tackle. The run was by Petrus. Ball across to the 39-yard line, 38-yard line, 7-yard pickup. Brings up second about 3, a long 3 for the Badgers. 2 receiver set, Stoley under center. Takes the snap, hands it off to Petrus. Petrus finds some room up the middle. He'll pick up the first down. DeGravio, I believe, with the tackle for the Lumberjacks. Picks up about 6, I believe. Ball going to be placed at the 29 of St. Mary's. Call it a 9-yard pickup up the middle. 1st and 10 for the Badgers. Badgers break the huddle, coming to the line of scrimmage. This time they've got split tailbacks, Stoley under center, 2 receivers. The snap, the handoff, coming near side. That is, again, Durham with the tackle. The run by number 25. I don't have a 25 on my roster for the Badgers. Picks up 9 on the carry. 2nd and 1 from the Lumberjack 21-yard line. 2nd and about 2, actually. Two receiver set. Stoley under center. Split backs again. Wait for that clock to tick down as far as they can. Now, ball's on the ground. Stoley able to fall on it. Might have almost gained a yard out of it. No reason to call out a fumble or nothing. It was more of a bad snap than anything. Brings up 3rd and 2 roughly for the Badgers. Hello, chump. Badgers up to the line of scrimmage, 1 to each side for wide receiver. Stoley under center. Running backs lined up behind him in an I. Snap. Oh, no, I don't know if that was actually Stoley. That might have been Moss. Trying to see if that was. Who is that? What was that? Yeah, that was like a direct snap, I think, to Moss. He picks up 3 or so. Ball up to the 21. Actually picks up, we'll call it 2. Say the ball's at the 19. Actually inside the 19. It's at about the 16 or 14. 2 receiver set again. Badgers will run it. This is actually still Moss at quarterback. He's going to hand it off to second man through. Petrus. Got a flag on the play. Cody Mitchell with the tackle. I don't know what this one is. If it's going against St. Mary's, it's going to be against the Badgers. Well, the Badgers will march it back 10 after the penalty. 1st and 15, 1st and 20. The ball will be placed at the 20-yard line. Not 1st and goal. First and 15 on the 20. One receiver to the top, one to the bottom. I formation for, not sure who the quarterback is. It's still Moss. He's going to pitch it out to Petrus. Petrus tries to get the edge, gets a good block, slips down though. Kind of late flag. Late flag comes in. Again, a lot of times on run plays like that, well, I could be a face mask or something, but a lot of times that's against the offense. So we'll see what they call. The official's still talking about it over there. The Badgers are marching backwards, so I think Bonners Ferry knows it's against them, possibly.
Personal foul against the Badgers. Back.
Should be a 15-yard penalty on them. It's going to be marked all the way back to the 34-yard line. Second and long for the Badgers. Two receivers set. Under center is Moss, as he is the quarterback at the moment. Clock ticking. Nope. Moss gonna keep it himself. I don't think he's a quarterback. He's gonna run over a Lumberjack. Who was that? That was Nathan George. Will get credit for the tackle, as he put himself out there to try to stop him. That's going to be about a 15-yard pickup there. Third and about, call it 18 yards. Ball is marked at the 16. Third and long for the Badgers. They're going to let that clock tick again. 3:33 and counting. 49-18, Jax Trell. Fourth period. Going to get the pitch out. Petrus, it looks like. He's going to just give himself up at about the 15. Should be, I thought it was fourth down, but maybe I didn't reset that on my tablet after one of those penalties that kept it on the down. So it's not third and goal. It's 3rd and 14. For some reason it wants to tell me 3rd and goal. Badgers with two receivers. Hand off to, I think Moss. No, they did. They handed it off to the 23 of Scarborough. Scarborough up the middle. Picks up 4th. And hey, the ball is on the 11. It is not goal to go. Badgers going to let the clock tick a little bit more. They're going to probably take a timeout because they're just taking their time. I think they're going to take a timeout here in a second. And they might give their guy another chance at a field goal. So a minute 40 to go in the game. 49-18 St. Mary's trails. Timeout from the Badgers. Don't forget to join us after the game for our Talk About It player of the game.
Mitchell Excavation in Fernwood is a proud supporter of Lumberjack Sports. For all of your road building, site preparation needs, call Mitchell Excavation. 208-245-1160. Whether ditch digging for plumbing and electrical or home site preparation, Mitchell Excavation is the place to call. That's Mitchell Excavation in Fernwood, 208-245-1160. Mitchell Excavation says, go Lumberjack! And we're back. It is fourth and about 8 from the 11-yard line. A minute 40 to go in the contest. Bonners Ferry up 49-18 over the Lumberjacks, and the Badgers going to attempt another field goal here. Again, I think some of this is them being pretty good sports, showing some sportsmanship here. They don't need to score and go up any higher. Long field goal on the way, and is it good? It is good. Nice kick by Tadlock for the Badgers. I believe it was Tadlock. It is. The score 52-18 in favor of Bonners Ferry with a minute 40 to go in the contest. St. Mary's going to drop to 2-1 on the season. Talked at the beginning of this game. This one's going to put St. Mary's back down a little bit in the talks around the media and the polls and stuff like that. It's going to make Priest River, who I'm pretty sure beat Grangeville, a pretty good favorite to be the Central Idaho League champions with the performance that Priest River had tonight. So St. Mary's still going to have to work for that reputation going forward. They get the Kellogg Wildcats next week here at home. League matchup there. Kellogg beat Orofino 57-6 to start the season, but Orofino lost tonight to Salmon 6-0. So the Maniacs still trying to build that program. New coach again this year. Even with this game, the league is still pretty well open. Plenty of time for St. Mary's to fix some things and get better by the time all the big league games happen. Going to be fielded by Gustav at the 20. 20 brings it to the near, or Gustav to the near side, and he's going to power all the way up to about the 40. And Lumberjacks will have a minute. 20. Maybe it is a running clock. Maybe they did. I think they are over 40 points ahead now. So it's a running clock from here on. St. Mary's, of course, won't throw any quit. They've got a minute and something to get things going. They've got, or not get things going, but to do a little something. And they've got all 3 timeouts, or 2 timeouts at least. Sparta going to throw it. Looks to Brock. Brock catches it out of bounds, short of the first down marker, but gets the completion. It's his 11th catch tonight. Going to be about a 9-yard pickup. Brings up second and 1. Quickly to the line of scrimmage. 5 receiver set. Low snap. Jack able to pull it up and get the pass off. Intended for Harold, but that was all thrown off because of the snap on that one. And St. Mary's, I think, going to take a timeout with 30 seconds on the clock. Right now, they're not calling a timeout to get anybody to the sideline. They're just wanting to save a little bit of time for Lumberjacks to see if they can move the ball down and score late. This is kind of a good, almost like a good learning moment and to work on something here in a live situation. Treat this as if you're down by a score and you need to get down there in 30 seconds. So 5 wide outs for the Lumberjacks. 3 to the top of the formation. Barta in the shotgun takes the snap, looks to throw. Going to flush up out of the pocket, find some room to run. Still on his feet, gets a block down to the 30, the 20, and runs out of bounds at about the 15, maybe the 16. Nice run by quarterback Jack Barta. They're going to mark that at about the 17, 18-yard line, 33-yard run. 1st and 10 for St. Mary's. Quickly to the line of scrimmage. The Lumberjacks might have called a timeout there. Going to get a snap. Going to look to throw. Barta flushed. Throws it. Incomplete. And the clock, I think, will move now when the ball is placed. I'm not sure, actually. We'll see. Brings up. Oh, I didn't put incomplete on there, did I? 2nd and 10 for the Lumberjacks. Ball on the 18.
No, they placed the ball, and they're stopping the clock. I don't know why they're stopping the clock all of a sudden, unless... Now we have a timeout taken by Bonners Ferry. 15 seconds on the clock. 52-18, St. Mary's trails the Badgers. 18, ball on the 18, second down for the Jacks. They're looking to try to put one more score on the board here at the end.
You're listening to the home of Lumberjack Sports, 1240 KOFE, St. Mary's.
And we are back once again. Not exactly the night St. Mary's was hoping for. The ideally you win the game tonight, but that in the middle road was, if you end up taking the loss tonight, you'll hopefully keep that game close. Gone the other way. St. Mary's being fairly well blown out by the Badgers tonight, so it's going to put them back a little bit, but that's okay. They're still going to be under the radar. This is a big Bonners Ferry team. It's just, I say use the word scary, but Bonners Ferry did not beat Priest River by a whole lot. So Priest River is the real deal, obviously. They're going to be a tough opponent this year. St. Mary's has to play Priest River in Priest River, second to last game of the season. Next on the schedule for St. Mary's, they'll be at home against Kellogg, on the road to Moscow. I think at home against Timberlake, and then at home against Grangeville before finishing up on the road. The snap, Barta looking to throw, flushed out of the pocket, takes a run, and is going to run out of bounds.
Barta out of bounds at the 5-yard line.
And take that down to the 5. First down for St. Mary's, but maybe it's, I'm not going to do my math very quickly right now. Maybe it isn't. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. They were running the clock earlier and not stopping it. But now they're stopping it, even with the ball placed. So I actually don't think it's a 40-point deficit for St. Mary's. 2 receivers to each side of the formation, 9 seconds on the clock, and fake the handoff. Jack Barta keeps it himself, and he's going to dive into the end zone. Touchdown, Lumberjacks. So St. Mary's will finish the night up with a touchdown rush by Jack Barta. Puts the score right now at 52-24.
And a Lumberjack touchdown by Jack Barta.
And they'll bring out DeLong to kick the extra point. And we'll have one more kickoff, apparently. Yeah, that was only a 34-point deficit. So, yeah, there was no running clock yet. I was wrong. So, DeLong. Oh, Lumberjacks with the fake. Barta rolls to the near side, throws it back across the body. It's caught, but I think it's caught out of the end zone. Lumberjacks pushing the pile, and we're going to get a flag late. I'm not sure who caught that. I'm not sure if it counted. Well, face mask against the Badgers. The attempt was no good. Oh, wait, offsetting penalties. Oh, they're going to replay the down, actually. Okay. Offsetting penalties. Lumberjacks have all of their linemen to the far side of the formation. Throw it out to Year Out. Year Out spins, and can he dive to the goal line? No good, just barely short. It was a good design play there. I kind of think Year Out almost, I don't know, that ball hit the pylon. But anyways, 52-24 with 2.1 seconds left to go on the clock. Lumberjacks will fall to 2-1. Like I said, next up is the Wildcats. It'll be a good game for St. Mary's to hopefully get back on the winning side of things here at home against what could be well, I really don't know what to say about the Wildcats right now, or no, because they blew out Orofino, but then Orofino lost to Salmon tonight. So we won't know until we play the Wildcats, honestly. It'll only be the Wildcats' second game of the season. Then St. Mary's will go on the road to Moscow. That should be a tough game down in Moscow, Idaho, taking on the Bears. The Bears lost to Grangeville 26-20 earlier in the season. Brinzato will come out to kick off. Trying to get everything set up. I'm trying to get one more guy out there, I think. Yeah, St. Mary's was short one, so Harold comes out. Brinzato lines up the Jacks for one last kickoff of the evening. The Badgers showing everybody up close for an onside. That's going to be fielded at the 20 by Petrus. Petrus will be tackled. And he's tackled by number 10 for St. Mary's, Wilcox. So let's get this. Let's not forget soccer tomorrow. Lumberjack girls will get the day started at 10 a.m. against the Bonners Ferry Badgers. And the boys will play at noon. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back and get you some stats and our talk about it. Player of the game.
Looking for future leaders we can believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Idaho. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It includes learning to listen, accepting responsibility, being a good role model, and it's about respect. The result, it transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. This message presented by the Idaho High School Activities Association and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
Afraid to touch that breaker box? Need some rewiring done? Call the professionals at M&S Electric. With nearly 40 years experience, there's no job too big or too small. From industrial and commercial to residential and service work, M&S Electric isn't afraid. Serving Benoit, Shoshone, Kootenai, and Latah counties, M&S Electric has you covered. Overhead work, M&S can do that too with their bucket truck. M&S Electric, 408 Main Avenue, St. Mary's. Give them a call, 208-245-3890. No job too big, no job too small. We do them all. M&S Electric.
And we are back as the Lumberjacks fall 52-24 to the visiting Bonners Ferry Badgers. And the Badgers are a tough squad. Give them hats off and good luck through the rest of your season, Bonners Ferry. But they got some big boys on their team. They're going to be tough for the Tigers this year, I think. Let's see. Look at some stats here. A couple of turnovers hurt St. Mary's tonight. That really hurt them, honestly. A turnover, a pick return to a touchdown, then another pick that got turned into points. So that was tough for the Lumberjacks. But Jack Barta had 226 yards passing tonight with 2 touchdowns. Barta also led the team with rushing, 75 yards and 2 touchdowns. So he did a lot on his own down there. Brock Barta had 98 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns. So the Barta boys were the top players in tonight's game. And there's some weird things going on. I don't know. There's some things going on in that. Anyway, let's see. Jack Barta rushing, 9 carries, 75 yards. I don't think Jack had a fumble, but it's showing as a fumble on here for some reason. Aiden Yearout had 59. Cade Morris, 1 run for 4 yards before he was taken out with an injury. Zach Soten had a couple of carries for -2 yards. 2 interceptions, 2 touchdowns for Jack. We kind of went through that one. Receiving, Brock Barta, 10 catches, 98 yards, 2 touchdowns. Isaiah Gustav had 3 catches for 67 yards. George DeLong, I showed with 2 catches for 2 yards. And Gustav, 1 catch for 20. And Harold, 1 catch for 19. Defensively, Cody Mitchell shows unofficially as the leading tackler. Of course, I got to freshen things up and double-check all that later on. But I show Mitchell with 7 tackles and 2 assists tonight. Harold with 5 tackles and 1 fumble recovery tonight. Durham had 5 tackles and 2 assists tonight. Aiden Yura, 4 tackles and 3 assists. So those are all unofficial numbers. I got to go back through and clean up those stats later. But that brings us to our Talk About It player of the game. And tonight we are going defense. And I'm going to go with a guy that I called his name several times, seen him flying around the field tonight, had that fumble recovery for the Lumberjacks, and we're just going to go a little bit different. We've got Jackson Harold with the unofficial 5 tackles and a fumble recovery, getting the Talk About It player of the game this evening. So congratulations to him. Let's see if the Jacks can bounce back next Friday night at home against the league opponent with the Wildcats coming to town. Tomorrow, come on out and support the Lumberjack soccer teams as they play at Potlatch Deltic Fields here at the high school. As the Bonners Ferry Badgers come to town for soccer, the girls will play at 10 a.m., the boys at noon. That's going to do it for us here from Lumberjack Field. I'm Tim Parrish. Thanks for tuning in with us. And again, St. Mary's falls 52-24 to the Badgers. Thank you for tuning in to another broadcast of high school sports on KOFE 1240 AM St. Mary's, your home for high school sports broadcasts. We want to take a moment to thank our sports broadcast sponsors and hope that you'll do the same. Without them, this wouldn't be possible. Until next time, have a great rest of your day.